Hello, everybody. We are live.
I didn't know we were dancing. I didn't know this was a musical number.
I always hate starting these because I'm always like, when's it going to pick up that I'm talking? So.
Well, we are live now. We're here on the Weeping Willow Paranormal channel, guys. We're hanging out. We got Tarnia in the house. We've got Betty in the house. Who else? We got Allie is in the house. Hey, Allie. David Jones, Spectral Researchers, was in the house earlier. I don't know if they're still here. But yeah, this is just a casual hangout, really, to kind of just chit-chat about our trip, to hang out finally. Because since our trip, the four of us have not really had a chance to really hang out and chit-chat. So this is a good time. Joe is in the house for us to kind of... I mean, we've had some time to decompress and get back into our lives and start that whole thing going, and now we can sit back and just reflect upon the good times we had. And that's why we are here.
Hey,
Sharon is in the house.
Hello. Yeah, this was like, I can't even believe our very first investigation was a month ago.
No. Was it a month ago?
No.
4 weeks, yeah.
Holy smokes.
Oh, yeah. April 27th.
I mean, that whole trip was, at least for me, it was 2 weeks. For Karen, it was like just maybe a day or so over 3 weeks.
Yeah, a couple of days.
So you haven't been home as long as we've been home. Like you
I'm still adjusting.
In terms of the grand plan, you've just arrived. So like, yeah, man, that's crazy. Time flies, man.
I know, it sucks.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense considering that we met at PEX and then like the plans started happening.
Yeah.
So it wasn't long before, from the moment we all hung out and really solidified our friendship at PEX, and then to when this trip happened, like to most people, you're like, well, that's not that long. For us, it seemed like forever, but now it seems like the trip just happened. Like, because like I said, we're just now decompressing and getting back into our lives and our schedules and all that kind of stuff. And so it's weird to think like it was so long ago.
Oh,
because it doesn't seem that long ago.
No, because I got home and I had like a couple extra days off, worked for 3 days,
got COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel like I really haven't been back to work that much, which I really haven't because of COVID making.
And that's kind of why we haven't really hung out either, because you got home and you're like, well, I got to get back to work. Cool. When you're done, like when you get some time off of work, we'll catch up. And then you got COVID, had no energy.
No,
I hung out with Karen and Ron a little bit on a live stream.
Yeah.
And I've talked to Ron here and there, but like, this is probably one of the first times me and you have talked since the trip.
Yeah.
Clifton is in the house. Real Paranormal is in the house. Daniel Scree is in the house.
Daniel. I can't even speak today. Sorry. I had a hard nap. I slept hard. I had a hard nap.
Dude, those hard naps will really mess you up.
Well, I needed to prepare myself for today. So I had a nap after work. I literally, Ron woke me up and I was like one of those like so deep in sleep that it was like, holy crap. And then
he's like, it's Wednesday. Yeah. You've been asleep for 5 days.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's I'm good for tonight. I'm excited. I got dressed up, semi-dressed up.
Well, you look beautiful, Ron. Cassie, you look all right too. Karen, looking like a princess as always.
Thank you,
and I literally threw on a clean shirt because I couldn't be bothered. Tarnia says, congrats on the new job. Thank you. The new job comes with a new schedule, which means early mornings. Me and Ron were just talking about that. He's got some early mornings as well. So it's been an adjustment in terms of my schedule, my sleep schedule and stuff. I'm not doing too bad. But what I do have is 2 days off. So that's why I'm here, because I don't have to work tomorrow. And I'm hanging out with y'all. And tomorrow I will be at the Ren Fair all day long.
Nice.
which I'm looking super forward to because unfortunately for Ron, maybe not unfortunately, he doesn't know yet. I have given his family the Ren Fair bug, and now they really want to go to the Ren Fair. And I think you guys have plans to check out a Ren Fair in your area in October.
Yes, in October. It's an hour and a half drive roughly away from us. So so the kids are all excited. All the kids want to dress up, but Garrett, he's our almost 10-year-old. He doesn't want to get dressed up.
That's fine. I guarantee when he goes dressed in normal clothes, which is not a problem, like it's not a requirement or anything, I guarantee he's gonna want something. He's gonna get there and he's like, Dad, Mom, can I get a sword? Can I get, even if it's a wooden sword, he's gonna want a sword, and then he's gonna want a belt that he can put the sword in that's got a sheath and stuff. And then he's gonna be like, ooh, what if I got like this? And that's when you go to the Ren fairs, you start building your accoutrement, your the belt with the things that hang off your belt, and the one like kind of lace up shirt, or the corset, or the this or that. And next thing you know, you've got a whole outfit for Ren fairs, and you're planning your next trip. Like that's kind of how it goes. It happens. Even to the people who are like, I'm not dressing up. I'm gonna be cool, jeans and a t-shirt. And you're not gonna see me dressing like a cape. That's how it happens. Yeah. When kids who are too cool for school see people doing things unashamedly, that's when they're like, oh, like all these people don't care that they're dressed up like knights or wizards or fairies or whatever. I don't have to feel like I'm too cool or like I'm going to be judged in this situation because everybody else. That's when they kind of let their guard down and they start doing fun stuff. That's how my kids were.
Yeah. No, I mean, Everett wants to be a knight, but he wants to have a suit of armor. But trying to find a decent looking quality suit of armor is like at least in Canada, it sucks. You guys in the States, it's so much easier to find stuff. But in Canada, like I saw a costume, I saw like the reviews on it, and I'm like, oh, this looks crappy. I'm not spending like $100 on something that looks crappy. So it was like,
you also need to kind of explain to your kids that you're going to be walking around a lot. And so you don't want to wear anything that's super heavy or super hot.
Yeah.
And this goes for like comic book conventions or anything of this kind of thing. And so I hear that he wants to be like a knight in armor. What you need to tell him is like, you need to be like one of those guys who has like a couple pieces of armor on. You can get like a cool lightweight chest piece and maybe like a shoulder piece. Hell, I can make that out of PVC foam, so it's light and it's not going to make you sweat to death. But you don't want to get 10 minutes into a convention or a Ren fair, and the kid is just like, I'm hot, this is heavy, I'm uncomfortable. Can we take this back to the car? It happens every time. Every time.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to say some shout outs. We got Laws in the house. I don't know if we said hi to Fish. Said hi, Pasadena. I don't see Jared in here, so I don't know if I missed them. But okay, what else we got here? Dantex. Do we say hi to Dantex? Hi, Dantex. Real Paranormal. So how are your investigation going? I'm really interested in. Thank you. So far right now, like last time I investigated was with these lovely people on the screen. We did our road trip, which tonight we're not going to talk about the investigations necessarily. We're talking about the fun we had on it. And you have to tune in for our episodes, for the locations, but I do have another location booked, for July 15th. So that'll be our next one. And that's like in Canada, in Ontario. So.
Nice.
Oh, cat. And hi, Dark Hallways. See what else. And thank you, Tanya.
We actually still need to figure out, like, oh my God. I looked away for a hot second, and next thing I know, it's like Doof's been replaced with that judgment. Nothing but furry judgment. We still have not figured out like when we're going to start releasing the content from this trip. I will be absolutely truthful. I haven't even looked at 1 second of footage from our trip because I just needed to back away from it all, and let you kind of you get too close to the footage, especially if it just happened, and so you need to kind of push it away and almost forget about how things unfolded and stuff, so you can watch it with fresher eyes. Otherwise, you tend to miss things, or you think, oh well, this was boring or unimportant, but then like you really got to like separate yourself a little bit, which means you guys have to wait a little bit longer, but the content is coming, and I think it's going to have to start coming in the next couple weeks.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to have to start that process. So I know even with my new job, I think Sheila asked me how my new job is going. It's going good, but it's going to require me to be a little bit more diligent with my time, my free time, in terms of editing Cemetery Road and Cemetery Road Investigations. So we're going to figure that out within the next day or two.
Yes.
When the schedule is going to be, because I think the schedule is going to be Cassie will release an investigation episode, and then the following week I'll release mine, and then she will release another one the following week, so that we're not kind of like doubling up, and we can kind of spread this content out a lot longer. And then in there somewhere I will start releasing the behind the scenes stuff. And I think I want to like release a behind the scenes thing right before, like, say Octagon Hall, our first investigation. You can release your first episode of Octagon Hall, and then maybe like a day or two later, I'll release the first behind the scenes trip video. And then the next time you see a behind the scenes trip video is when we start releasing our hospital on College Hill stuff, so that it's not because I honestly, best laid plans of mice and men. I had this grand plan of doing all this behind the scenes stuff, but with the caveat, and I've always said this, the asterisks on there, sometimes you have to put the camera down and experience the adventure you're on. And I did that a lot more than I thought I would, because I had to. Like, we get in the moment, to the point where Ron's job became reminding me I was supposed to do behind the scenes stuff. And that came pretty quickly. Like in Louisville, he's like, hey, behind the scenes. Oh, yeah. I should probably do that. I haven't touched my camera in 3 hours. I didn't do as much as I would have liked behind the scenes. I definitely caught a bunch of fun stuff, but I also made sure I was a part of the fun stuff and not just viewing it from behind a camera.
Yeah. So do you want to say hi to Maisie? Maisie
Rose.
And also, Dark Hallways did mention about Mackey Mansion. Thank you. That was like a bucket list location, and it was so cool. I was able to investigate it with Karen and Jason. Also, Karen, though, you're going to be releasing your history videos behind too, so we have to figure out when that's happened. So it's a whole process, guys.
I'll do my. I've already started, so I'll have something.
You've started your Sally House stuff too right now.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
I've got the second episode of that ready to put out this week. So I'll do each location that we've all gone to. I'll deep dive into the locations a little bit, and if I forget anything, I know now I can write back to Bear and ask. So from the Octagon Hall. So I'll put something together just about, the history of the house itself, again, the people who lived there, etc., etc. And then, boom, then the guys can go off with theirs. And then that gives you, the viewer, I think, a little bit more understanding of the location. And it certainly gives us more idea when Jason and Cassie are reviewing footage as well. Oh, gosh, Jason.
Sorry, crikey. My bad. I should have muted my mic.
Yeah, what it could be. So but that's my plan. And then I've got stuff from I've got what was it we were called? I asked Jason this the other day, and I haven't looked at the footage for a while, but interesting facts with Ron.
Power facts with Ron.
Power facts with Ron, that's it.
Yeah, we have fun with that.
Yeah, we did have fun. We were going through I'll edit it all together, and I'll put it together. And but because Ron had worked on the tunnel that leads out, what's it called, Ron? The tunnel that leads out to the.
It's called the tunnel.
It's called the tunnel.
It is called the tunnel, but it's a big
in
tunnel.
Niagara Falls, under the Niagara Falls Power Station
it's
place.
CMP Power Station.
I have a pin. Karen bought me a pin.
Oh yes.
Where's my pin? Oh, it's way down there. I can't read it. Ugh.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
That's that's where Karen got her Nikola Tesla doll.
Yeah.
I did. Where's Tesla? Where is he?
I see him right there. Is that him right there?
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
right there.
There he is.
Hi, Tara.
Tesla. Hi, everybody.
I'll have to take a picture of my pin collection. It's right here. I mean, you could see it right here. This is my pin collection in the corner of my video. I've got a bulletin board here that's got all. I like to collect pins on my trips because, when you travel as much as we do, you don't want to spend $1 bajillion on knickknacks and stuff. Especially when you're a father with 4 kids and stuff, you're just like, that's too much. So I take a ton of photos and I collect pins. And our trip pins are down here at the bottom, so you can't see them. But I collected a few from Graceland, from Angel's Envy, which is a distillery we went to, Waverly Hills. What is that? The power station that Karen bought me. Couple other little places, but yeah, so like my trip is represented on my pins over here. I'll take a picture of this board and post it on Instagram. You can find it on The Cemetery Road on Instagram. I'll post it for you guys to check out. I've got Disneyland pins, I got Superman pins, I got horror pins all over the place.
Yeah, thank you, Sheila. I'm glad you liked my work. And yes, I'm glad you liked the little video I made. That video had nothing to do with paranormal. Some of
it
my
doesn't
stuff
have to. Yeah,
it doesn't have to do with. It was just I thought because I know some people that watch don't really know much about Australian animals. So plus,
Laws from Oz.
The whole one.
Laws from Oz says, "How do you say it's warm in Canada without saying it's warm in Canada?" Ron's shirt.
It's actually warm in Canada right now, or at least it
Ron
feels
is having a good time.
It was really starting to get hot when I left America, like hot days. There was a few hot days in Virginia City. And when I went to California on that day, that was really warm as well.
You got out just in time because now they're dealing with like rain and stuff.
Oh, Virginia City?
What, Nevada in general, like the Reno, Virginia City area.
The day I left, I said to my friend Connie, because when I went out the back of the Silver Queen, that's where I had my car parked, there was water rushing. It looked like it was gushing down from one end of Virginia City down along the back of the Silver Queen. And I went, what the hell? And she goes, it's the snow's melting and it's broken. I said, it looks more like someone's turned
the rivers are flooding. The lower locations are flooding because the heat it rose fairly quick. So now it's melting the just bajillion feet of snow they got over the course of like 4 weeks. So everything is just like going crazy. And now they've got rain, which rain's going to help melt the snow faster and add to the flooding. It's just they can't catch a break really. And it's not like life-threatening or like national disaster. It's just like it would be inconvenient for Karen if she was up in Virginia City and the weather was either snowing or raining. And so I think she got there right when it was like in a window of niceness, which was nice.
Yeah.
And honestly, we had really good weather the whole trip. There was like some cool rain in a cemetery at one point, and but other than that, like it wasn't
wildfires.
No, our trip.
Our trip,
Kentucky.
Our trip, but yeah, when we were in.
Thank you, Real
Thankfully, when we were in PEX, we didn't have to deal with the wildfire smoke too much.
No,
but that could have been problematic when we were at PEX.
Yeah,
stop it.
So thank you, Real Paranormal, for subscribing to Jason and Karen's channels. Thank you.
Thanks.
I saw Joe ask before about PEX.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there's a PEX this year. It will be at Sutro Tunnel.
Well, there's PEX events going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be a big event yet.
Yeah. And I believe Jamie has put out an Instagram asking for people who want to be involved, like talent, to contact her. But all I know is the place is booked for PEX from the 19th of October to the 22nd. So that's all I know. And if you want to know more, contact Jamie.
I will not be there.
Yeah.
We
So
can't. I ran out of vacation time. But thank you, Pittsburgh.
And we knew that going into this big trip, guys, that we were going to be kind of choosing this trip over a return to PEX this year. Because we had no idea if PEX was happening. And we super enjoy PEX. So if you want to try it, if you keep up with PEX on Instagram to find out more on that, that's great. And if they do have an event that you can go to, do it. I highly recommend it. Vivian and Jamie Lee put on a great event. But we knew that if we were going to do this trip, that generally meant that we were not going to PEX for multiple reasons. One, it costs a crap ton of money for Karen to come over. Costs a crap ton of money and is logistically just kind of a pain in the butt for Cassie and Ron because they have children. They're coming in from out of the country as well. That's a problem. I do not have the free time that I used to. And so I wasn't going to be able to come. So this was like my one shot to like really spend a good amount of time out on the road was on our trip that we were going on. And so we kind of made that decision as a group to like, do we do this trip or do we hold off and try and do a PEX thing? And we all agreed that this trip was going to be better for us as kind of like friends and as investigative team members to do. So we made that choice, and so we will not be at whatever PEX happens in 2023, but we wish them the best. And if you are able to go to whatever event they put on, we can give it the thumbs up of like, hey, they do a great job. So it would be worth your while to go to that event.
Yeah, exactly.
Victoria Smith is in the house, and Linda.
Real Paranormal had a nice thing to say there. Cassie, can you see their comment?
Who?
Real Paranormals. As a researcher, I'm pleased to follow groups that work seriously. There's already too much rubbish around, faker groups that doesn't bring fresh air into our field. And that's what our trip was about. Like, our trip was about us having fun, but it was also about everything that we were going to, like listening to the stories, like listening to what we get told, but approaching it still in our own way. And that's why I do what I do, because I don't like it when people lie to me, and I don't like people when they tell stories that aren't true. I hate it. It's a pet hate.
You take it very personally.
Yeah, I do take it very personally. Probably too personally, but that's okay. That's how I am. But then I get So that's why I'm doing the Sally House thing, because now I've gotten a little bit personal, I think, with the Finney family from back in the day. So I'm just like, I'm sick of this BS. I'm just gonna. I think
you would be better served though, just presenting the information and not getting pissed off at the people who have perpetuated the Sally story.
Oh, I'm not pissed off at them, Jason.
You get pissed. You get pissy. You do, and you do.
Right.
I would prefer your channel to be one of positivity and straight up honest information.
Okay. Don't you pick on me. I don't want to have an argument.
No, but that's what your videos. That's what your videos are doing, which I really enjoy. And I think that's one of the things that I love about your channel in conjunction with our channels is that it's such a good companion piece to when we're doing investigations. And then you can come in and just like give that information, like solid factual information. It's one of the things when we go to our investigations too, is that what we're presenting is just our experience.
Yeah.
Knowing we're getting those stories that you're just like, that's not true kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we're not perpetuating that like some channels do.
Yeah. I've got to be careful not to go too much to town on the people that made up I've got to I've got to be careful, because if people have gone in there with the assumption that the stories they've heard are true, then they probably truly believe in some short way that that's what they're picking up. But then when you look into a location and you realize, well, that couldn't have happened, and that's impossible, and that's wrong, then it's a shame that those people didn't deep dive before they went to a location and find out the truth, because they might have actually picked up something relevant to the truth, as opposed to, oh, well, I don't know who that would be, or, oh, that must be wrong. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. So, yeah. So
yeah. And I think,
say,
like, especially when it comes to, like, people who have the resources to do the research. So, like, for me, I can speak to me very clearly, because this is what if you look at me as a paranormal researcher, I am very much like a hobbyist, if you will.
Yeah.
Like, I'm doing it for fun, and I have no claims to anything else. I'm like, if this place has stories about being haunted, let's go spend a night there. Let's go see what happens. That is my investigations. Like, I am not going in saying, like, I have researched the hell out of this and I know things and blah. I am very honest that, like, hey, I'm just going there to see what happens. There you go. Those are my investigations. But if you're talking about, like, people that are professional productions,
The cat.
yeah, but it's coming out of her head. People who have professional productions and stuff, who are perpetuating those claims, then yeah, I would agree with you, and I would get as annoyed as you are in terms of, like, if I don't want to name names because I don't even know if they've ever been to the Sally House or whatever, but if, like, a big professional budget, like, maybe it showed up on television, or maybe it's just one of those high-end YouTube channels, go to, let's say, the Sally House, and you're like, and how did you not do any research? Yeah. Like, because if Karen in Australia can do all the research and find out all this stuff, why could you not have?
Yeah. If I can go on to Ancestry, like, yes, I've got to pay for all this. I pay for it. I pay for the ability to be able to do proper research.
Yeah, but these people who are like, oh, we are professionals, that shouldn't be a problem for them.
They should have someone who just sits there and do what I do. And go, right, here you go, use all these resources, all the old newspapers, all the old, courthouse records, whatever you need to use. And that's what I've been using. So, I mean, you still miss stuff because it was so long ago. There'll still be glitches because something hasn't been recorded properly or something. I've been finding a lot of the census records for the people who lived in the Sally House, because they had lodges, like they did. Aggie, who lived in the house until her death, she had lodges, so she had people staying there. But their names are on the census. It's just really hard to get it. But puss. But yeah, like, that's what I don't understand. Some of these bigger channels, these bigger productions, why?
Well, and
I think Ghost
literally we've discussed this at length on our trip, because this is something that Karen was very passionate about. Not just with the Sally House, because that's what she was working on at the time, but, like, with our investigations in general, like, just finding out the truth and really trying to represent, especially her videos, as truthfully as possible. So we've talked about this a ton. With that being said, I want to point out a bunch of the stuff in the chat real quick.
Yeah.
Tarnia, thank you for Tanya. It's going to start again. Thanks for posting the link to my exclusive Paranormal Road Trip t-shirt. There's two. There's one that's got the front that says, I want to say, bro, what is that?
9 hours on the barbecue.
Oh, man.
It's going to be
Listen, I've had chicken wings like 3 times since our trip, and none of them are any good.
I had guys, so we're going to start talking about the trip soon, but I had chicken wings tonight, and I'm like, these are not the same. I'm like,
yeah, they're not good. So my Paranormal Road Trip shirt, there's 2 versions. There's one that says, I want to say barbecue, breweries, ghosts, and then it says sleep, but sleep is crossed out. It's a checklist of what to expect on a paranormal investigation with us. And then if you're a member of the channel, I posted a link that has that exact same front, But then on the back, there's additional stuff. It says Paranormal Road Trip 2023, and it has a list of all the places we went to, and then our team logos.
Oh, cool.
If you're at all interested in any of those. And then let's see. Joe says, Karen, damn near every location has a beat a story in YouTubers that will exaggerate. They have a story that YouTubers will exaggerate, lie, and think are based on real stories. You can't take it personal. And we all agree. It's just that most of the time you only hear the one story, the sexy, spooky story. And so the real history is just lost because nobody's really interested in telling the real story, which is why we love teaming up with Doof Paranormal, because she's going to really do the research and just present the research of that location as just like flat out as honest as humanly possible. Yeah. And hopefully that starts integrating its way into, when you type in Sally House, that her stuff will pop up. So it's not just demon touched me, Sally spoke through my 8-ball, like blah, 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 blah. But that like, there's also like the truth of the Sally House episodes and stuff like that. So that's a good mission to have. Yeah. Laws from Oz says, my pet peeve is YouTube investigators going into horrific murder sites and joking around, singing stupid songs. Yep. Looking at you, TP. I don't know who TP is, but no, I agree with all of that.
I do.
Oh,
yeah, I don't. My tag of my videos, be it a cemetery investigation or a paranormal investigation, or a cemetery tour and a paranormal investigation, is be safe and be respectful. If you can't do either one of those, don't flip and do it at all.
Yeah.
I can't. Sorry, go, Cassie, go.
I just want to say hi because I haven't said hi to some people. I feel bad. So Victoria, if you're still here, hi, hello, and also through the veil, hi. Sorry, okay, we're good. I just feel bad, guys.
I've already told Karen that if I ever go back to Atchison, Kansas, Atchison is really hard to say. Like, it feels like you're mumbling through it every time. If I go back to that location, I will refer to it from this point forward as the Finney House. And we have no other proof of anything else.
No, and if you ever go back to, you've got to go to the family plot there at the Mount something cemetery.
Mount Calvary.
Thank you, Mount Calvary Cemetery.
I've been there. I haven't. I mean, if you watch my episode, maybe they're on there.
Maybe I'll have a look. I'll go have a look. You might have, because they've got a family plot so that it's the cross with the Finney name on it, and then they're all
maybe.
But I know someone's lurking. So Levy, I love you. Levy says hi.
Through the Veil says, and I agree with this, some of my vids went down the toilet because people want spook factor and not fascinated with the history of the place. I get it, and this is why. When people do an investigation at the Campbell house, just pulling a name out of my ass, they're going to name it the Demon Farmhouse from Hell. And when they go there, it's going to be nothing but like jump scares and like, oh man, something touched me. And oh my gosh, do you see that? And it's going to be like crazy camera work, because that, I agree, it's exciting. It is, and it's spooky. And if that's if I'm sitting down in my office and I want to watch something spooky, Karen's detailing of the actual history of the Finney House is not going to do it, because that's not what I want in that moment. Does that mean Karen's deep dive into the history of that location is unimportant and not needed? Absolutely not. But that's why those videos get huge views. That's why those makers just, then I have to do this with every place I go to. And I think, honestly, what you're going to see from our videos, our investigations of the places we went on this trip, going to be honest, sometimes it's a little boring, guys. It's going to be a whole lot of nothing because while we did have experiences, we didn't get possessed by demons every 5 minutes. things were thrown across the room. We didn't get touched and have possessed by a demon every 10 seconds. It's just what happens if we go into this purportedly haunted location. Let's see what happens. Sometimes not much. I hope that our personalities are enough to bring you guys to the video. But I'm definitely not going to lie to you. If nothing's happening, then nothing's happening, guys.
Yeah. And a lot of times I feel bad because, well, I don't feel bad, but it's like there's like some downtime, but I leave that in too to show that paranormal is not always like that action. So that's why, I mean, I don't know. So
no, it's definitely true because a lot of people will get the idea if they're like, hey, I'm interested in this thing, paranormal investigation. And when I go on YouTube and I watch these videos, stuff is just happening all the time. It's crazy. So let's go to this location and experience that for ourselves. And then you get there and it's just so dead and it's quiet.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there for hours and you may get tired and you're just like, this isn't how it is though. That's because everything's edited and or faked and or exaggerated and or any one of those things, because ultimately 99% of the things you're going to watch on YouTube are created to bring in views and or money.
Yeah.
It's simple as that. I agree with the comment of like, hey, I made a video, like just a straight up factual, like this is what happened video, and it just didn't do well. I have a whole channel of those videos. So I get it. I mean, we've been to some of the most haunted places in America. Mackey Mansion, Waverly Hills. We haven't released Waverly Hills, but this is what I'm saying. Washoe Club. Like, we've been to some hot ticket locations, and those episodes aren't blowing up like crazy because honestly, we're not hitting the algorithm stuff of like really pushing forward clickbaity titles and like just going crazy with it. It's just, that's the way it is. Sheila Hall says, Jason, did you actually have experiences at the Sally House with the one that shall not be named? I'm not sure. All investigations are in question at that point. There are a few things that happened on my previous team that I can point out that I believe in because they were personal and they happened very much in a way that I can guarantee they were not manipulated, but the Sally House is not one of them.
That's, and also too with my videos, no, I don't think I put bobbleheads in my first episode or animations in my first episode.
Oh, well, then we should all unsubscribe immediately.
No, but there's no.
We come for the bobblehead and then we learn.
But I have done some reenactment. In this one about Charlie, I've done some reenactment animation because I just did. I love that one of the stories that I'll tell you in this next episode just made me laugh. Because the person I'm doing it on next is Charlie Finney, and he was the mayor of Atchison, and he was a character. He was funny. He had a wicked sense of humor. So I'll put a little bit of that in. But that's what I mean. Like learn about the people, and then maybe when you do go to places like this, you'll who knows? Because the house, they loved the house. The family loved the house. The family was, so if you went in there with a bit of respect or whatever, who knows who might say hello if they're still around. You kind of hope they're not, but you kind of hope they're passed on. But the history, the house might talk to you. Who knows what's possible?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Also, guys, too, if you guys have any questions, not necessarily about our locations we went to, you can ask what locations we went to if you didn't know. But if you have any questions about anything about our trip, just ask away too. So, so what did y'all think about the Hill House?
Hill House.
Oh, you mean the house on?
The Hill House.
Oh my gosh! What the heck? The hospital.
I think she's asking about a place called Hill House, not one of the places we went to.
Hill House. No.
I don't know. You would have to let me know exactly where that is. I don't know where you're talking about, so I don't have any any idea about the Hill House.
Unless you mean the hospital on College Hill.
And there was a
Real
house.
Paranormal said, "What you said, Jason, is all
Oh.
true. Even if I can't find anything, the public anyway. It's right that the people who see these videos understand that there are presences in every place. That is true. Linda says it's in Texas, Hill House in Texas. I have no idea. I've never heard of the place.
I've never been to Texas.
But Texas is right south of me, so like I'll go if I could.
Well, I plan on going back to America at some stage next year, and if Jason's still talking to me, I'll go to his house. I want him to take me to Jensen Ackles brewery because you never know. Jensen
all you had to say was brewery, lady. I'm all down.
Brewery.
Especially that one. That place is cool.
I now drink beer, so
she do. Thank you.
You're
welcome, Ron.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now you can go to breweries with your wife.
Yeah.
It's on the trip.
There was something I saw. Law says, I love the McIntyre Villa, Stephanie, and that crazy skeleton. McIntyre Villa is super, super fun, guys. Atchison, Kansas has the Sally House, or the Finney House, if you will, and McIntyre Villa. Those are two places that are easily accessible, not crazy expensive. And Stephanie, who owns the McIntyre Villa, is super fun and super accommodating. And that location is just cool in and of itself. I've done an investigation there twice. Go on my channel. Go check out me and my son Paul's investigation in the McIntyre Villa if you're interested. But also, Atchison's kind of a cute little town, so I think it's kind of worth the visit.
I think I might go to Atchison and I'll rent out the Sally House because I know how much it is, so it's not too expensive. Rent out the Sally House for a whole week and I'll stay at the Sally House, and then I'll go to McIntyre Villa. Then I'll go to wherever there's other places there. Then I'll just
there's a bunch of other places.
There's a bunch of other places, and then that way too, because of what I think about the Finney House.
You could just become an honorary Finney for a week.
I'll just be an honorary Finney. I'm sure the family would like it, and
Karen Doof Finney.
Yeah, that's it. That sounds good. but when we were on the trip, guys, both Cassie and I don't like beer at all. We just don't like beer. I can drink beer if it's a really stinking hot day here in Australia and I've been working out in the yard and there's a beer there. Oh, boom, 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 boom. But that's what I'll do. But going through the breweries, thought we'd give it a go. I'd have a sip every now and then. I'd say, well, can I have a sip of that, Jason? And I'd have a sip and I'd go there. And then we had stout. Both Cassie and I had some stout. And
Cassie and Karen are all about the stouts, especially if there's a coffee kicker to it.
Yes.
They're all about it. And the thing is about with the coffee stouts and stuff, like all the ones these ladies loved were very strong beers. So like, I actually like this one. Give me another. I'm like, it's 13%. She's like, okay. And I'm like, no. That means a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say two then.
A small glass.
Yeah.
Why is it in such a small glass? How come Ron has a bigger glass and I got a small glass?
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I got very annoyed. What's going on?
Yeah.
And that's
I did want to mention, I've actually, when I was researching my channel's name, because I researched to make sure no one else had Weeping Willow Paranormal, that Willow's Weep came up. I'm actually kind of interested to go there if it's still available. So, yeah.
Through the Veil says Amelia Earhart was in Atchison too. Yeah, Amelia Earhart was born in Atchison.
I saw a picture of her house.
Her house, the house she was born in has been turned into a museum. And then Sheila says, Cassie, I hate beer. What's the secret? Secret is just to find the kind you like.
I
really. And craft beer. Go for craft beer because you're more than likely. Like I started my first beer ever when I started drinking at 19 because that's what the age is in Canada. It was Budweiser. So I always had this bad beer taste.
No wonder.
But I realized I just don't like Pilsner or like that more not even hoppy. I don't know, just that flavor. So stouts, this is actually a Guinness Nitro. So it has the coffee in it. So it's the coffee. It's the coffee. But then we had the Muffin Man. And that was literally...
Which was a blueberry They called it a stout, but it's a sour. Like I think they're confused, but that thing was solid. Daniel asks, "Is Atchison still a rail hub?" Yes, it is, which means it has a rail system running right through it. The trains stop there all the time. There's still stuff that supply the rail lines there.
Yeah, Budweiser, yuck. Budweiser.
But yeah, like Cassie said, if you have any questions about our trip, and not in terms of specifics of the investigations, because we'll save those for when those videos come out. But if you have any questions in terms of dogs, about what we did, why we chose the locations that we did, like how it went, all that kind of stuff, let's chit chat about it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mute my mic because of the dogs, and I'm gonna go see what they're
The dogs
barking
aren't
at.
too bad, Jason. The dogs aren't too
It's
bad.
bothering me, lady.
Okay.
But I can still hear you, so let's get the questions going, guys.
yes, questions.
Does anyone want to know about our Scooby-Doo experience with the dog? That was awesome, wasn't it?
That was really cool. Hi, Pam.
We can talk about that, can't we?
Yes, we're allowed now because
talk about that until I get back.
Okay. We were at and Cassie can interject. We were at the old college at the hospital on the hill thing, and Jason had an idea, and I think
Don't talk about it until I come back.
Oh
my gosh!
Talk about it. Oh, fine. Oh my God.
Jeez.
I misunderstood too.
Yeah, see, Cassie thought that's what you said, and Jason yelled at me a lot. Everybody.
No.
But it was warranted because I was probably very annoying. And we did.
So Joe's just talking about like the willows. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the thing, because a lot of it, like the reason why my very first investigation ever went at Screaming Tunnels, because that's an urban legend in our area, and I wanted to go to see if what people say about it is real. So a lot of locations, I'm down to go to a location they say is one thing to see if I can validate anything, you know? So, I don't know. That's just why I've gone to, I mean, there's some location I go to on purpose because I've heard actually every location really, but like Screaming Tunnels, is, they say is haunted by a ghost girl, but I don't think it is, but I still think there's stuff there. I just don't think it's the ghost girl. Because there's actually, speaking of history, there is nothing backing up being a house near that property, like near the tunnel.
Yeah.
There's nothing that correlates with what the story. So,
someone asked what the favorite place was because it skipped off my thing now, but I didn't really have a favorite place that we investigated. They were all each on the. Oh well, I had a least favorite, but my most favorite were like they were all different. I really loved Octagon Hall. I really loved Waverley. And Old Hospital on the Hill, I really loved that because that was a whole experience in itself, and that was very good for me because of an experience that Jason had. But I think the most fun part about the Old Hospital on the Hill was, now that Jason's back, Scooby-Doo.
So we had an idea. I think we can all add to this story. I will start with, we had an idea that when we got together, it would be cool to do a photo shoot kind of dressed up like the Scooby-Doo gang. Just mildly. Like we wouldn't full on cosplay, but what if we did photos inspired by the Scooby-Doo gang, because we had the van, and if I wore something that was that very Fred-esque, and Karen was very Velma-esque, and Ron was Fred or Shaggy-esque, and then Cassie was very Daphne-esque. Let's do that. That should be fun. That would make for some cool photos. So we did, but in the process, we were all like, "Wouldn't it be cool?" Or it's such a bummer that we don't have a dog we could add to the photos.
Oh, so I was sitting on the steps next to Cassie, and I swear this is what happened. I saw some pennies, And I did that old see a penny, pick it up all day long, you'll have good luck thing, right?
Yeah.
But then there was another penny. So there was 3 pennies and I said it for each penny. And then I turned to Cassie and I verbally said, and Cassie and I were both thinking of at the same time, oh, wouldn't it be good if we had a dog? And Jason's got a dog.
We were literally taking the photos.
We were taking the photos, yeah. We were doing the
camera
photos.
set up, and I would pose everybody and then hit the button and run over and stand in the photo. So this was happening while taking the photos in that situation.
And then that's when I said to Cassie, Jason will probably have to take a picture of Frisbee and superimpose it into the photos. And then Cassie can take it from here. And then
so we're standing on the stairs, and all of a sudden, this random dog runs from like somewhere out of nowhere, literally no owner nearby, guys. A dog runs
we
up
still
to
don't
us.
know who owns this dog.
No, we don't. And I mentioned, I think it was me that mentioned that it looks like Scooby-Doo. So it looks like the same coloring, more like Scrappy because it's little.
Yeah, it was a smaller dog, brown like Scooby-Doo, and had a blue collar on. And it just appeared out of nowhere.
And all I did was like, oh, it's a puppy. And then the puppy started bounding over, and he
was the friendliest damn photo.
He was and he just sort of
friendliest damn dog, not friendliest photo.
He was awesome. So he stayed. So what are the chances, Dantex? I totally
and then he was, or I think it was a she, wasn't it? A she?
It was a girl.
It was a girl, yeah.
Yeah, it was a girl. And it was like, she was like just sitting with us posing, and then she just ran away. And then we were talking to her.
Into the night.
Yeah. We did find out that from a local that this dog, she just runs around the town.
She runs around the whole town.
She runs down the street.
Lives down the street, but she just runs. Like, she's not like,
she has a home.
No, I know that, but she runs around town.
But it just happened to happen.
And
it was just so random.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see it. I can kind of give you look. There she is.
Yeah.
Little Scooby dog that just appears. We have a couple photos with her because that's as long as she would stick around for.
Yeah,
and then she bolted again off into the night to enhance somebody else's photos.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But a few funny things. Oh, and then was it the next day or the same night that we went past the mystery machine?
Oh, same.
I think was it the same night?
It was the second night in Louisville.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It was like technically 3 days later.
Yeah, 3 days later. Ooh, it's a mystery machine. So I think Jason took a photo.
Yeah, some random like local company in Louisville had a like delivery van that was dressed up like the mystery machine, but it said like the sign shop on it instead of the mystery machine. Yeah. But we were just driving to like dinner with our plan of like going to a brewery and then going to a bar and stuff. And suddenly, like off in the distance, I was like, "Is that the mystery machine?" What are the odds of finding the mystery machine?
We had
awesome.
Weird.
What was the third thing?
Oh, there was a third thing, and it was
a third thing. There was like it's got to be Karen's pennies working their magic.
There was a third thing, and I can't remember what it is now. I have to think about it later.
No.
Say what?
Nothing. We can't talk about it.
Yeah, Through the Veil. I so want an Ecto one. Yeah, that would have been crazy.
But we had fun, and then there was nearly car accidents coming around the bend.
Yeah.
I think we've talked
Oh my gosh, Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, y'all drive like maniacs.
They're crazy, and somebody had a truck full of rubbish, and he was more or less gave Jason a dirty look as if. And he was right around the bend. We've talked about that one before on a previous live, but the guy
on Doof's live stream that me and Ron were on, we talked about how we were in Cincinnati, coming around the curve of a freeway, and all of a sudden in front of my van, because Cassie and Ron were in the car behind us, there's this pickup truck just loaded with scrap metal that's like tied down with a piece of string, like a shoelace, if you will. And things had started falling off the truck. So he was in the middle of the freeway with his emergency flashers on, but that's not a help. with all this junk. Like it's hard to describe how completely unsafe this situation was, because I don't care what you're imagining, it was worse than that.
Yeah,
and so I'm in this van going 65, almost 70 miles per hour around this turn, and the next thing I see is this van or this truck in the middle of the freeway loaded with crap falling off while this guy's like cinching it up.
Yeah.
With cars behind me, cars to the right of me, and I'm just like, what do I do? I'm slamming on my brakes. Karen's like, whoa. Ron's probably behind me having a coronary. And then the guy next to me is like honking his horn. Like, it's just, there was so much going on in that moment. And really, it could have ended so bad.
It was a little bit like that, Ellie.
That is just kind of how Cincinnati was for us. And we were just passing through.
Yeah. We did stop in Cincinnati, but like not very long.
We stopped to check out the Hall of Justice, Ron.
Yep.
Hall of Justice, which was a train station or like a train hub in Cincinnati that the Hall of Justice from the Super Friends was based off of. I had to stop and check it out, so me and Ron went and checked it out while the ladies just sat in the car wondering why they were hanging out with a couple of losers. But this place was awesome.
We actually watched on YouTube because our son Everett, he likes watching Carpetbagger. He travels around. He went there, so we actually got to see inside of it. So we watched the video.
I would like to check it out.
Yeah, it was actually a recent video too. Yeah. It was like within a month of us being there, probably.
Within a month of us being there.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny.
Through the Veil says, you didn't float down to Bobby Mackey's? We did. Bobby Mackey's was the final investigation in this trip before heading up to Canada to just unwind and hang out over at Cassie and Ron's house. So we did Octagon Hall, we did the old hospital on College Hill, we did Waverly Hills, and we did Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah.
Sheila, I'll take on your suggestion about the Stanley. And the favorite state, the southern states, where they all talk sexy.
Weird.
I don't know. It's all y'all and all that sort of thing.
Y'all. She likes any place you go that they say y'all.
Y'all. Oh, but I just loved the southern states, and it was so beautiful. Like, so beautiful. I just couldn't. I was trying to explain to Jason when we were driving, and I'm taking video of just trees. Like, I'm just like, oh, so pretty and green. And in Australia, it's beautiful too when you're on the freeway, but it's all gum trees and it's very a different feel. So America is just all green and lush and beautiful, and Australia can be green, but it's generally sort of more drier looking. And I don't know, both countries, my country and America, both beautiful in their own ways. But I love the southern states. I especially enjoyed Octagon Hall and young Isaac, who showed us through, who I kept annoying to say, I can't do it. Vehicle. And I'd say it again, and he just laughed at me. But I had fun, and I made some awesome friends. Niche at the Ghost Brewery thing. We're still talking.
Ghost River.
You know what I was thinking? I might ask Niche if she'd like to come on one night, and we'll do a trivia, and she can be the trivia host.
Did she get her things that were sent out?
Yes, she did. She did get the spoon and the shot glass. She put a little post on the Facebook about that. But I thought it was a bit of fun. I could ask her that. She could come on and ask.
There you go. She could host our trivia night.
Yeah, she could be. So that's it.
Linda,
that's something I ask.
Linda is asking, how was Waverly Hills while you were all there? It was good because the weather was perfect. So if you don't know anything about Waverly Hills, it's very open to the elements on the upper floors where you're doing your investigations and stuff. So it wasn't super windy and it wasn't super cold, which made the investigation portion like very like investigation friendly. I know the last time I was there with my former team, there was a lot of like outside noise, a lot of ambulance noises, sirens, and dogs barking, stuff like that. Didn't really experience that the night we were there.
No, we were
there were a couple planes that flew by, but nothing too excessive. So for the most part, it was really nice. For if you're asking about like paranormal activity wise, you will just have to wait and see the episode.
That's just want to give a shout out to Levy because he did give me a PayPal donation, and I think if you check yours, Cassie,
Well, thank you, Levy.
I'm pretty sure. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm actually starting to save now for my next trip to America. So thank you. That's what it's for. I'm just going to save and save and save and save until
you're going to have to save even more because I don't think you're going to be able to come back here without bringing your daughter with you because I don't think she'll forgive you.
Yes, well, that could happen because I got to get asked, but you know what? We'll see. But that's because she's got friends that she talks to that are in California. But I have to say, the parts of California I saw in LA, LA was interesting when I went there, and I was super stoked to go to some of the cemeteries. And Jason, I thought of you while I was at those cemeteries, and I thought
most people do.
I just sort of thought, oh, you'd love this one. The one where Marilyn Monroe is tiny. It's a little tiny cemetery.
Really?
But the other, it's only a little cemetery.
Well, everything's tiny after Cave Hill.
Yeah.
Well,
oh my gosh.
I don't know if I'll ever experience it.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Thank you, Levy, if you're here. I got a PayPal too. Thank you. But
he's
yeah,
probably still working. He's home. He's probably got it on. But yeah, so thank you, Levy. But yeah, the other one I went to where Sharon Tate's buried. Oh God, what was it called? I've forgotten now. But it's massive. It's absolutely massive.
Is it Forever Hollywood?
No.
Or was it a different one?
There was another one. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten what it was called. Started with a C.
I forget half of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sheila says, I got the feeling Ron used to be a skeptic. Do you still feel like you are a skeptic or not?
Yes and no, if that makes sense.
I'm in the same boat. I'm a believing skeptic. I want to believe something's out there, and I'm on the journey to find out if there is, but I ain't going to believe every single thing you throw at me.
Yes,
I think Ron, from what I felt in these investigations, is in the same boat where he's like, I'm open to whatever happens, but I'm also just not going to just blindly believe.
Yeah. I mean, and that was a huge...
Oh, sorry, Cassie, go.
Oh, no, I was going to say that's a huge change from when we investigated together in Virginia City, because you were like skeptic, but then things started happening, and then you're like, oh. So I think you've changed since then in that sense, because now you're like a little bit more open, right? But
he's also open to having some fun. I think me and Ron also enjoy the same thing of like, we're in these cool locations. We got like free reign of like a Civil War battlefield base, if you will, in Octagon Hall.
Stop it!
Like, how can you not have fun wandering around and hanging out and just kind of having your run of the place, or like Waverly Hills or whatever? I think me and Ron share that same like adventure spirit. It's like, I don't know if there's ghosts here, but I'm gonna have fun hanging out here anyway. Let's just do that thing.
Yeah.
And the history behind the locations is really cool. I really enjoy
it. Holy Cross Cemetery, Jason. Holy Cross Cemetery.
Holy Cross. Okay.
In Culver City. Massive. Linda asked me something. Yes, Sharon Tate. I went to visit her grave and I took her some flowers for Mother's Day, and I sat there for about 10 minutes on my own and just chin wagged with her, like she can hear me. But yeah, so I went there. That was one place specifically I asked my friend Scott to take me to. And he did.
Hi, Michelle. So I'm really sorry about your loss. So, Michelle.
Sorry.
Oh.
What's been happening? But what's been happening, Michelle?
Listen, that's hard because I'm gonna say Ron's chicken wings. Ron's 3 a.m. chicken wings are always gonna win. We had a lot of food. The tater tots, yeah. We went in. I don't even remember where we were. Honestly, was it still Louisville?
I don't know. I've got a time.
Yeah, I was outside of Louisville, I think.
We went to a brewery. Like, Yeah, we can't remember. It was a lot, but we went to this little place. So there was a brewery across the street that we wanted to hit. We wanted to get some food, so we went to this place. It's kind of like a little vegan-y, not vegan, but like vegan friendly. What was it?
Hipster? It was like a hipster.
Yeah, very
place.
hipster-y kind of place. And we knew they didn't have like a huge menu. I looked it up beforehand. I'm like, well, because we didn't want to like eat like a massive meal. All of us were, I think, in terms of this trip, we were eating like one big meal a day, and then kind of snacking throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But we had already kind of had a big meal that day, so we're like, let's look for something a little lighter. So I found this place that was right across the street from this brewery we wanted to visit. I have photos, and it's in the behind the scenes, so I can't remember the name of it. But they had like tater tots with stuff on them. Like you can get, stuff, put on tater tots. And I'm like, that's fine. That works. But good Lord, were they good. It was like a thing about yay big. It was like not a plate, but like a pan yay big for each of us, covered in tater tots. And then me and Ron had the same thing, which was basically pulled pork, cheese, chives, and I want to say some jalapenos and some barbecue sauce drizzled on it. And it was phenomenal. And then Cassie and Karen had the same thing, which was...
It was the chicken brand? Bacon?
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah.
It was, I'm looking at my photos, Jason, and it was taken at the...
Hi, Aaron. Hi, Glam.
The 2nd of May at 6:25 p.m. So I think the 2nd of May is when we went there, because I've got a picture of Cassie drinking a beer.
I have lots of pictures of Cassie drinking a beer. I got
Had to memorialize Cassie. That forever.
She's oh sorry, I gotta bring this brightness down. She's two-fisting in this photo.
Oh my God.
Why was I doing that?
You were drinking a beer and whatever mixed drink you guys got. Was it
cider?
No, it was at the first one of the first.
Oh, it was it was there. We got the nachos. I got the nachos.
The old fashioned?
Oh, old fashioned.
Oh,
yeah.
In Lexington, Kentucky.
And it was strong.
Yeah.
Strong.
Have we missed any questions, Cassie?
I don't think so. I've been trying to keep up. But yeah, no, those tater tots, I actually want to recreate. I actually put it on my grocery list to recreate it, but I want to do it with buffalo chicken. So basically breaded chicken, hot sauce, blue cheese.
It was at a place called Nomad. This is the place we ate at.
Cool.
Yes, that's it.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have any footage of the actual food though. Oh no, I do. Ooh, yes. Okay, so this. Now I'm hungry. This is what me and Ron had.
That was nice, and I finally decided that I do like jalapenos. I was letting Jason.
What you guys had.
Yes, it was delicious.
Oh, so
I
good.
tried to recreate it.
It was really, really stinking good. Glam, she says she has to get going. Thanks for stopping by to say hello. We love you. Thanks for popping in. Aaron is in the house. Hey, Aaron. Sheila says, Karen, you had mentioned you may go back to work after your trip. Have you decided what you want to do?
Sheila, yes, I've decided.
She's going to be a bartender at a brewery.
I've decided that I've had a really good think about it. I'm not sure I want to go back into the same field I was in, i.e. nursing, aged care, or anything like that. I'm still thinking about working with veterans in some capacity, but I'm not quite sure what or how. So in the meantime, I might volunteer my time to assist veterans. But so far as an actual job that pays, I was actually thinking, and Jason thinks he's being funny, but I was actually thinking of barmaiding, being a barmaid. I know that sounds weird, but
I had no
I've done
idea.
I've done that before. I've worked as a barmaid before, and back in the day when it was a disco and people were really, really drunk and leering at people over the bar. So I think I could work in a brewery. And just like over here, minimum wage isn't too bad. Whatever I do for a job, I want to be happy. I don't want to be working in a job where I come home at night stressed to the hilt because the job I was doing was really, really stressful. That's why I left it. It was just too much. Bureaucrats. And
I've always held to the idea that like I never want to bring work home with me. I want to go out. I want to do my job. And then I want to come home and that job just disappears for however long until I clock in again.
Yep.
And I feel like, the job you had before, you weren't able to do that. It affected you so much that when you got home and clocked out and stuff, like you were just like, it just held on to you until you went back and clocked back in and had to work again. And so you never had a break. You never had that release. And that's something I've tried to hold on to in my life. I have to have that work personal life separation. And sometimes you got to make those hard decisions of like, well, this may pay better. Like this may be a better financial thing, but like it doesn't allow me to have my own life. The job becomes my life and it stresses me so much. Mm-hmm. So if I took something that paid a little bit less, but allowed me that separation,
to be happy,
probably better. Yeah, because happiness is where it's at.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty lucky. I live with my children, the girls, and they've got, one's got a little job, the other gets money another way. But between the five of us, we can manage. And if I get a job and do all that sort of thing, then that's more money I can put away for my trips, because I was lucky. The job I had before paid so well. That's why I was able to do what I've done the past 2 trips to America.
Yeah.
I don't have a job now. So now I have to be a little bit more frugal with how I save, but I'm intent that I will be coming back to America at least once a year. I just love it. And if I don't go to America, I might go to Scotland. And if I don't go to Scotland, I might go to Italy. And if I don't go to Italy, I might go back to Canada. And if I don't do that, I don't know. I might go and stay with Crow. I might
do it.
Look after pussycats and give Mandy a break. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do, but I intend to travel again because the friends I've made, I can't explain. It's and I just never want to be so stressed again. And life is short. I probably only got at least another 20 years left before I drop dead. I want to have fun.
We don't talk that way.
Oh no, 80 is a bit too young to die. I'll go for 86. I'll be happy with 86. That's my fun
Aaron
number.
says I'm visiting Scotland and London next year.
Oh, cool, Aaron.
If you go to London, you need to go to wherever Ted Lasso was filmed and take some photos outside of the pub that is in Ted Lasso and send them to me. I'm a little bit of a Ted Lasso nut.
I've never seen. They just made the last season of that. They've got one
more episode on Wednesday. It drops the final episode of the show. So good.
Yeah, a bomb goes off in the stadium and they all die.
I would be so upset.
They did that once. I don't think there's anyone from Australia who's old enough to remember this. There used to be a show on television called Number 96 in Australia. It was a drama thing and, lots of sex and all that sort of thing. And it was on late at night on Australia TV. But everyone knew the characters had gone for years. And that is how they did it in at the end. They killed off all of our favourite characters by having a bomb go off in the apartment block. What? Unbelievable. It was sucked.
It's weird because I'm watching Ron pet his dog.
Yeah.
but I'm hearing a cat. And I'm just like,
I know, I'm sorry.
Something wrong with that dog, Ron. You may want to check. You may want to check her out.
Yeah, she's been really naughty. I let her out before, but one of the girls have put her back in here. She wants to go out into the lounge room, but the dog's there, and I'm just not up for it. So she'll just have to keep meowing. I'll throw something at her in a minute.
Tanya, Ted Lasso is a show about an American college football coach who goes to London to coach or manage, if you will, a proper football / soccer team in London called AFC Richmond. And it's great. It's 3 seasons long. It's on Apple TV or Apple Plus or whatever it's called. And it's freaking good.
So,
It's one of the most feel-good shows I've ever watched.
good night, Real Paranormal.
Good night, Real.
Yeah, thanks for the support. Thank you.
Is the dog drinking Bud Light?
I think that has something to do with
Are you talking about Ron? He ain't no dog, bro.
transgender thing.
Ron's a snack. He ain't no dog. He's a snack. I've seen him in a hot tub. Mm.
Oh my God!
Jason.
What?
Slow down.
How you doing?
You already called me Tony Stark tonight.
Oh, yeah.
He's my Iron Man. My Iron Bacon.
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking forward to everyone seeing those photos that you did too in the cheeseburger outfit and the bacon one, at Waverley.
Oh, I can give you a sneak preview.
Oh my God, that was funny.
I can give a sneak preview. Cheeseburger and the bacon. Like it's crazy because I scroll through our photos and videos and stuff. One of the things is when I'm doing investigations, again, I film with my phone. So like when we walk into Waverly Hills and it's time to film a investigation, like I get like an hour-long video. So when I look through my photos, Waverly Hills is like 5 squares. 5 squares on it because I just keep the camera going. That's it. But then everything else is like cemeteries, just tons, because it's like just so many headstones and stuff. So it's weird to like scroll through. I'm like, oh, cheeseburgers. It's like 57 photos of me in a cheeseburger outfit. Weird. I don't even know why I'm calling it like a sneak peek because you're just going to see the photo. If I can find it. How long were we at Cave Hill? Good Lord.
We were
Oh
there.
my gosh.
What, 6 hours?
Hours. And we went back the next day too, remember?
Yeah, we were there at
That
least.
place was great.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful cemetery.
Yeah.
Here we go. I keep having to like bring down. Look at those 2 badasses in food costumes.
Oh, you
Sneak
can't quite
peek,
see
baby.
it, but it was a bit disturbing.
Yeah. Waverly Hills, guys. Real men wear food costumes. I'm just putting that out there.
And I was the photographer for that one.
It's true. Aaron says, Jason, in relation to Ted Lasso, did you know his character was originally supposed to be super mean and controversial, but because of how bad the societal divide had been, he totally changed to the opposite? Yeah, and you can see that Ted Lasso is not based on, but like it came from an NBC sports skit because Jason Sudeikis was on Saturday Night Live. They approached him and they're like, hey, we want you to create a character for all these like promos we're doing because the World Cup I think was going to be broadcast on NBC Sports, and he's like, yeah, sure, why not? And so he created this character called Ted Lasso, who was an American college football coach who had no clue what soccer was and stuff, and he was just kind of like obnoxious and like crazy and whatever. but he was so popular that people were like, you should do something with that. And so he created the show. But in the process, they didn't just one-to-one transfer it over. They were like, okay, well, who is this character? What is this journey he's on? And so it became this American college coach who had to go over to London and like fish out of water himself in a soccer game or a soccer team. But Jason Sudeikis, one of the creators of the show, he's like, I just don't want this to be a divisive character, or I don't want this show to be an us versus them thing. He wanted it to be a positive, uplifting thing. So the character that you saw in those promos changed to someone who's just so constantly positive, but has his own like struggles with mental health and stuff that you learn in like season 2 and stuff. But yeah, I absolutely love it. The show, I feel, is just so good. It's funny as hell. It's got some of the funniest things I've seen in TV in a long, long time. So if you haven't watched it, Ted Lasso, check it out.
I'll have to.
I went as Ted Lasso for Halloween last year.
You did.
Oh yeah, no, I still have like the costume hanging on my chair here, under the Crooked Pecker Brewing Company hoodie, the Brimstone Brewing Company hoodie, and then the AFC Richmond hoodie that I have that is my Ted Lasso costume.
That's so funny. Yeah, the kids want to have Apple TV. I don't know why. There's something, and we have so many streaming services.
I know, it's terrible right now.
So we don't have Apple. That's probably the only one we don't have. Oh, like in Canada, because we can't get Hulu, so we have like our version would be like Crave TV. But
do you have Disney Plus?
Yes.
Because I think in a lot of the other countries, Disney Plus and Hulu are one and the same. In fact, I think next year or later this year, Disney and Hulu or Disney Plus and Hulu are combining because it's all one in everywhere else.
Oh yeah, because Disney has Star or something. Yeah.
Tanya is asking, Jason, how many costumes do you have, and do they have their own closet? This closet, Tanya. This is the cosplay closet in my house. This holds all of the cosplays, period. And I don't know how many I have. I have a lot.
We have a bucket that keeps getting overflowing because
kids' costumes.
All the kids' costumes. Though I did order my Ren Fair outfit. It's still not here though. The headpiece is shipped. It's coming from Georgia, actually, Athens, Georgia.
There you go.
What are you going as?
Pardon?
What are you dressing as at the Ren Fair?
Like a medieval thing.
A lady. A lady. She's going as a lady.
I guess I haven't it's not necessarily like an elf, like an elf or anything.
Like a character or whatever. Yeah. It's just
a dress that's like an overdress was a thing. So I'm pretty excited. Elida, my oldest, was so I said Ren Fair, and she like exploded with excitement. So she knew what that was. You need to get yourself
a well-fitted and comfortable corset, and then like a belt that you were able to hang stuff off of.
Yeah,
like a mug and like maybe some keys and like do up a whole character.
Yeah, I have a purse. It's in my Etsy shopping cart, but it's like a little pouch so I can put my phone and my wallet in it. I've already been researching. Ron's outfit I still have to order. All the kids
Ron looks so tired.
Are you gonna die?
I am tired.
Why are you tired today?
I've had a long week.
That's true.
That's a long week.
Every night at Rabs, helping him with his stuff.
That's true. Ron's been helping a friend after working 12 hours roughly.
Yeah.
This is me at the Ren Fair last week, guys. If you can hear, if you can see me in my kilt, blue shirt, red cape and hood, Superman symbol hanging off my chest. And it's hard to see in this photo, but I built these gauntlets. I made these gauntlets, got the Superman symbol on them. So I went as like a Scottish medieval Superman.
That's so awesome. Hey, Mike. Oh, hello. Yeah, your costume is like epic. What was
There's
it,
an
the billboard?
Abbey Medieval Festival. Is that here? I'm just looking to see what's local here, but I'm not sure if it's Brisbane.
Sheila asked me, Jason, what is your favorite thing to do at Ren Fairs? Wander around drinking and people watching.
Turkish oil wrestling. What's Turkish oil wrestling?
You need to clear your search history right now.
It says book a bus. There's a banquet, nighting, volunteers. It says birds of prey, sword fighting, archery, cannon fire, and Turkish oil wrestling, and so much more.
Turkish oil wrestling just goes to a completely different. They don't have that at mine. I'd be down to watch that, but I have no idea.
There's a picture of two men, topless men. Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing it's just like they oil themselves up and wrestle.
Yeah, because he's holding like a rope around his waist. I'm like, okay. I shall return shortly. Before, but oh, he's gone again.
Waz just said, have you heard of the TV series Surreal Estate? I have not heard of that. Okay.
Come on.
I haven't. I like the TV show Ghost. We only watched like 12 episodes, but that show's pretty funny. Ghost?
Did you watch? Is that the English one where Kylie Minogue comes, or is it?
It's an American show, the one that I watched, and it's like she owns a bed and breakfast, and the ghosts are there. She fell down, and she could see ghosts. It's really funny. Like, I'm not like big on like watching like not sitcoms, because it's not a sitcom, but like I don't know, it was like I like watching like adventure action, like werewolf, vampire. I'm not into watching. I mean, I guess there's ghosts in it, but like funny stuff. I'm not like, I have to be in the mood to watch that. I don't know. I'm a weird person, so it's actually quite funny. Lawson is Canadian. I've not ever heard of that, but I also don't watch normal TV though either. So I only really watch Netflix and whatnot.
Oh my God! All my toys are falling down. There you go, Sheila.
Have you heard of a show, Cassie? Because I know it's Canadian, and I cannot remember the name, but it was about a paramedic. I want to say he could read people's minds.
Yes. Oh gosh, I know exactly what I used to watch that.
They put it on some channel at some point, because what America likes to do is they like purchasing shows from other countries.
Yeah,
Canada is fairly cheap. And what they do is they will just like fill in holes in their programming with these Canadian shows for like a season, and then it just disappears. And so the actual show could have gone on for 7 seasons, but here in America, it would have only like popped up on TNT for like 1 year. But I remember watching this show for like half a season about a paramedic who could read people's minds. And that's what made him like super great at his job, kind of thing. But then it just went away. I can't remember what it was called. The Listener, yeah.
Yes, I just looked it up.
It was really good.
Yeah, I did watch that. That was from 2009 to 2014.
Oh, so it went on for a while. Yeah, we only had it for like, at least on the channel I saw it on, for like half a year. Like it was just, I don't even know if they got through the whole season.
Yeah, the actor, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in forever. Oh my gosh, I do remember this quite vividly now. Yeah, I used to watch that. Also, another show I loved, but it got canceled after 1 season. It was called The New Amsterdam, or was it New Amsterdam?
New Amsterdam, yeah, with Ian Gaffold or whatever. Where it was he was an immortal, and when he died or was killed, he would be reborn in water.
Yeah,
but like naked in water, and so like he would have to. But he was in modern times he was a medical examiner.
Yeah,
I think
so, or something like that.
So he helped solve crimes, kind of thing.
I really enjoyed that, and then it was only one season. That
It literally,
was,
yeah,
Yeah.
2008. It said. I didn't realize it was that long ago.
He was the guy. If you don't know who Ian Guffold is, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. He was the guy who was cast as Mr. Fantastic in the Fox Studios Fantastic Four movies, the 2 movies they did for Fantastic Four.
And Sheila asked me, I got this. I got her in an antique shop in Virginia
City. So she's definitely haunted.
Yep. Watch out. Look into my eyes.
She's so big.
I can't even tell the difference between her and Karen. It's crazy. It's so human-like. I can see why they changed it for the movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh well.
She's not as fun. Oh my God! See, that's not scary. You need to draw some cracks on her head like she has in the movie. Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bluegrass.
I got another little doll when I was there too that was 100 years old. A little because
Hello, Bluegrass.
They used to make them so nice, like all the string would hold their arms and legs together. So I've got to find some nice clothes for her, but she's cute. She's in my bedroom.
Does anybody else have any questions about our trip, like that doesn't involve specifics about our investigations at all? I know we've been running for about an hour and a half.
Yep.
I don't know how long Cassie wants this live stream to be going.
I'm good as long as people want to like have questions and stuff. We could probably wrap it up soon though.
I've got to eat, people. It's way past lunchtime here.
You have to eat people? Is that what y'all do over in Australia?
I grabbed those. Cheese surprise. They're freaking hot.
Oh,
I bought those because I was going to make some nachos, and I've just started eating them. So I'll put them.
Maisie Rose says, Karen, I have a story you may be interested in investigating the history of. There's one story about him, and my family has personal knowledge and memory. Do you have an email address I can use?
I do have an email address you can use. I'll just hang on. I'm pretty sure. Oh, my mouth's on fire.
The flames flying out.
Where are you, Maisie? I can't. I'm not typing. That's Cassie's thing. Hang on. Go to, I think I've got one on my channel. I'll have a look in the about section. I'm pretty sure I put one in there.
You don't even know your own email?
No, because I've got my personal email. I guess it doesn't matter. I can
Laws from Oz says, who got to pick the music on your trip? Did Karen introduce you to any good Aussie bands?
I tried.
We didn't listen to a whole lot of music on our drive. Towards the end, when we were making our way towards the Titanic exhibit in Benton. No, where did we go? Karen was introducing me to a bunch of like 80s folks that she listened to. And there were a couple that I really dug. They were like super 80s, and that's my jam. I was actually going to ask you, Karen, because there was one you had me listen to on your headphone, and I was like, I like that. That's like very 80s, but I couldn't remember who it was.
No, it could have been anybody.
I know that's the problem.
I'm just
Find
going
your
into Facebook.
Find your email.
I am. I'll go there. I'll mute it because this. There we go. Backfed.
Oh, okay.
Good night, Betty. Thanks for hanging out.
Oh, why is that cat box? Beep. Beep.
Beep beep.
I'm
There's
typing.
a-
Let's put into the chat doofparanormal@gmail.com.
There we go. Tanya is at. I was trying to type it out. She got faster.
Yeah, there you go.
doofparanormal@gmail.com.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh, the Australian bands. Loz, I played Johnny Farnham, Burn for You, for Cassie. I made them watch the whole fucking thing. And Cassie just went, Johnny Farnham. Johnny Farnham, and Ice House.
I love Farnham. Yeah.
What else did I play? I think you know that song, Loz? Who sang it? Come said the boy. Let's go down to the sand. Let's do what you want to do. It's true. Anyway, I forgot. I played a lot of Jason didn't mind some of them. Cassie doesn't like Johnny Farnham, I guess.
I'm okay.
I dig Farnham.
I mean, it depends on the music. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just played that one song, but
that's actually kind of a lie, because I do like 80 bands, like they were popular, like you.
Mondo Rock. Thank you, Loz. Mondo Rock. Yeah, Mondo Rock.
Although you don't like.
Not yours, no.
Yeah, but there was some I played, and then I don't know.
Careful saying Cassie doesn't like stuff, because you were like, Cassie don't like beer. Now she's like, beer me up.
Cassie just needs to Google Johnny Farnham and look at a few of his other songs. Haven't you ever heard the song "You're the Voice"?
Yeah, you're the voice. That's on.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good song.
That's on the Over the Top soundtrack.
Oh, is it?
Well, I like In Excess. So there we go. They're Australian, and they're.
Oh yeah, Michael. Yeah. I must find out where Michael. He'd be buried in. I guess he'd be buried in Sydney. The service was held in Sydney, but I should go to the cemetery where Michael's buried. Yes,
I'm much more of like a mid 90s. Like that's what I like. That's like my the live like the band live like Matchbox 20, Third Eye Blind, like that era of music is like kind of what I listen to a lot.
Thank you, Black Cat. See, people love Johnny. Johnny got really sick and had to have an operation, and I thought, don't you go dropping dead, Johnny. But he's on the mend. He's much better. I swear to God.
I only know him from movie soundtracks. So I know him from Over the Top and Rad, which Over the Top was a Sylvester Stallone movie about arm wrestling. And then Rad was a very small movie about BMX bikes, biking and racing, which were staples of my childhood. So I know John Farnham. I love John Farnham. He's good times.
Oh, this would be good. I have to. If you've done Led Zeppelin, I like Led Zeppelin. So
well, Google that, and then you'll appreciate Johnny's voice. And
Tanya just said Cassie will be getting drunk on beer while listening to.
Yeah, I want video of that, Ron.
Me too.
Yeah, they had some.
I'm on my way. I'll film it. Now it's sounding weird. I'm just going to search John Farnham.
The sad thing is, for me, I could probably have enough money for flights to fly out to America again this year by the end of the year, because I've looked at flights again. If I book the flights
just
now,
got back.
Yeah, but I hate it here.
Oh,
I've got no friends to hang out with like I did with you and Cassie and.
There we go. I'm not gonna. I got John Farnham on my Spotify. I'm gonna listen to him tomorrow.
Yeah, listen to Johnny. You'll like it. He's got some. I do love my home. Sorry, I just here at home. I'm not very social. Like I don't do much. I'm home. I look after my kids and do whatever. But I think it was just the trip that we all went on. I was me again. I was silly Karen again, and Cassie was silly Cassie, and Jason was silly Jason, and Ron was Ron.
Listen,
Ron was kind of so cute.
There were a few times on that trip. Cassie was like, "Oh, I cursed," and I was like, "Did you? Did you?"
I did swear a couple times.
And she's like, "No, I swore," and I was just like, "I didn't even notice," because we were just in our element. We were doing our thing. But then there was a time we were at their house, and she swore to the point where I was like, "Girl, is Ron in trouble?"
I remember that.
because Ron was about to do something, and she was like, "I will effing end you," and I was like, "What?"
I think I might have drank too much beer at that moment.
It was.
Give me right back. I go to the bathroom.
It was a thing where I was just like, I feared for Ron's life because I was like, I think Ron's about to mess up to the point where she's going to be like snapping his neck and he's going to go down in the hot tub.
Oh, we had such fun. So I guess that's why I can't. It's for me, it's really annoying. I think I don't know if I told Jason this. I probably did. When I got off the plane. And
I haven't even really talked to you since you got back, honestly.
No, you haven't.
I mean, except for the live that we did with me, you, and Ron, which we're redoing right now because Cassie ran off.
But we've all been busy. But when I got off the plane, so I got off the plane, walked through the exit tunnel, went to grab all my stuff, and all the voices I heard were really. And
they're weird. You told me that. You said that, because it was like suddenly you went from one thing to the other, and you were just like back in Australia. And you're like, what's with the accents?
Yeah, I was like,
that's when you know you've been gone that long, where you don't recognize your own accent.
Yeah, like I knew, but it just sounded weird, and I'm like,
why ain't you all saying y'all?
Yeah. Why aren't you?
Where's my vehicle?
I was just gonna say that.
Yes, it was a little bit bittersweet coming home. I love it in America, and I could quite easily live in America.
I know you could.
I absolutely could. I probably would try to live in Virginia City. I spotted a few houses I'd like to buy. They've got a few for sale.
As long as you don't mind not having internet.
Oh, you can get it there, but I'd get Elon Musk.
It's BS. Everybody says that. Everybody says, "Oh no, they got some good internet now. We're good." That's because they're like they went from tapping rocks together to like dial up, and they're like, "No, we got the good internet now." No, you do not.
It is really bad.
You do not. I mean, we have fiber now.
The Silver Queen's got internet Wi-Fi, but it hasn't.
BS.
I used my data. I had to use the data, so you can obviously get it somehow reasonably well. But even my data in certain places in town will just drop off. Just go. So, bye, Erin. Bye, Ellen.
See y'all later.
See you a lot. Yeah. Okay. I need to get drunk so I can do a southern accent again.
Did you do it before though?
No, I don't know. Well, I was drunk. You all said I sounded a bit southern, especially when I asked for some road.
We were all drunk too, and everybody sounded southern.
We were at the Cracker Barrel, and the guy said he liked my accent, and that was kind of funny. So
he liked your what? What did he say?
He liked your
okay.
accent.
Just wanted to make sure that's what you said.
Yeah, he liked mine. He's the one who, because I said, what did I say? Louisville. Louisville. And he goes, no. Louisville.
No. Louisville.
And he goes, that's it. And I'm like, okay, Louisville. Akadaka's pretty good. Yes, Mike. Oh.
That's Australian for AC/DC.
Yeah.
We say AC/DC. Australians apparently call it Akadaka.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
I've seen them in concert, actually. So they're good.
Yeah.
You saw some Akadaka, did you?
I did.
Yeah.
You did.
I did. And I'm trying to think of something else funny.
But I did that.
I did.
I'm gonna go get another drink. I will be right back, folks.
Okay.
Don't talk about anything important while I'm gone.
No, we won't. Bon Scott was pretty good, but of course, you drink that much alcohol, you're going to die young, which he did. But yeah, they were from Melbourne. They were a Melbourne band. And In Excess were from Perth, but then moved to Sydney. What else? There's tons of really. See, the 80s was really good because the 70s and 80s were really good for bands, and even in America, like it didn't matter where you were from, because back in the day they all had to play at pubs and do gigs. They'd get discovered, and then they would get a record deal. Nowadays, people are just on the YouTube or whatever, that's okay too. But it's not the same. You've gone to see bands live. there's nothing as good as seeing a band live on stage
yeah.
playing that stuff. So
Yeah, like even like the local band that we just saw is My Son the Hurricane. Like, it's funny because like they were insanely good in I mean, I like listening to the music, but my sister was like she saw them in concert with us 3 years ago, and she's like listening to him on like CD or whatever or Spotify is not the same. Like she's like, I remember really liking them, but listening to him on the CD is like not the same.
Bye, Linda. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
So,
hey, Maisie, what do you do with Akadaka? Angus is cute. He's still
calm down. We don't want to get demonetized.
Huh? No, Angus he played with. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Really, he's that old?
No,
I didn't even know Jesus was in a band.
Welcome to the Jungle. Who sings that? Welcome to.
I forgot.
Led Zeppelin.
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
I have zero clue. I'm just going to start naming 80s rock bands and hope I'm right.
Yeah, Guns N' Roses, and I went to see their concert a few years back when they were live. They were really good, and Angus played the guitar then. Everybody's like, because he come out on the stage and everything. It was a really good concert. And I saw Fleetwood Mac as well. That was really good because not Neil Finn. Neil Finn, from Crowded House was there as well. Not Neil. I always say Neil. It's not Neil. The other brother.
You can't see it, but this guy right here. You can't see it really, but right there. Yeah. That's the Superman you sent me.
Oh, you got him. Oh, there you go. Was he all right? He's all right?
Oh, he's all good. He's pretty awesome. I put him on this little stand that he comes with, so he's just like, he's looking like posing, but like it's kind of dark right now because it was daytime when we started this call. But he's right there, and then I was just showing everybody else.
Oh, the Pez.
I ate all the Pez though. Like I sat here in my training for my new job, and I was just like, just eating all the Pez.
Oh.
Yeah,
I also have the new. I have the new Supergirl too.
Who's playing her? Are they making a movie of her? Are they?
She appears in the new Flash movie. I don't remember the actress's name though, but she's pretty slick looking. Like she's got a cool costume. It's very Henry Cavill-esque. But
I'm still angry that they've got rid of Henry for Superman.
Listen, everybody is. But that's okay. Superman's comes and goes.
Yeah, but he hadn't even come yet. Like he was just still there. Oh, for fuck's sake, Jason.
I was looking at my stuff. What are you talking about? Look at that Fortress of Solitude. That's a My Pet Monster right there.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
What?
It was.
What?
No.
It was.
She'll explain it to you later.
It was. I'll explain it later. It was.
It's all right. You got to pay attention, Ron. You got to pay attention. Yeah. We're not repeating
Ron's
the
tired.
joke.
He's been working hard. Did you work today?
No. You slept in today.
And you don't work tomorrow.
Don't work tomorrow.
But then you work Monday. But like an
thank
early
you,
day.
Michelle. Then it was Neil, not Tim.
And it's on a job right now that's just being a bit of a
pain. Yeah.
Just say
so like I'm trying to get used to a new schedule, which is like super early mornings and a little bit more physical of a job. And Ron's at a new site for his job that requires him to be super, super early in the morning, and it's stuff. So me and him are just like a little tired. I worked today. I'm a little pooped. But I'm going to the Ren Fair tomorrow, so I'm super excited.
That's fun.
That is cool.
We're going to Happy Ralph's.
Yeah, Happy Ralph's, which is a petting zoo, actually, Karen.
Oh. Yeah.
We'll take lots of video and photos.
Karen's now being like, why wasn't that on the tour? I'm sorry, we went to Niagara. What? We could have gone to Happy Ralph's?
We're going to Happy Ralph's, which is a petting zoo.
Petting farm. It's got donkeys and chickens.
Then you need to make a video.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
It's
to.
scary.
I'll take some pictures and stuff. To
It's
send
like
you.
a staple childhood thing. Like when I was little,
Yeah.
my mom and dad took me there all
Those are
the
some
time.
old animals.
You
Lost
can
from
see
Oz
the
says,
duck.
"Oh my God, have you guys seen the trailer for the new Barbie movie?" I
I'm just
watched
going
the
to
first
mute.
2 trailers, which is like the like teaser trailer, and then like another trailer that doesn't really tell you much about the story. I know there's a third trailer that just came out that kind of explains the story a little bit more. I am not watching that trailer because I feel like trailers at that point are spoiling too much of the story. I'd rather just see the movie and have it happen. That does not mean I'm going to go see the Barbie movie. But I'm not going to watch any more trailers. I will watch it either in the theater, which is questionable because I just don't have time to get to the theater very often, but I will probably watch it at some point when it's like streaming and or for rent or whatever.
I just had a look. It looks like me. It's all right. While you were talking, I was looking at the.
I'm in the same boat with the Flash trailer because the Flash just released a new trailer that's apparently spoiled like a massive cameo in it, and I'm just like, this is why I don't watch trailers, guys. So I honestly don't get to the theater as much as I used to a few years ago after COVID hit and people stopped going out, and then I moved and stuff. Like I've probably been to the theater in the last 2 years, maybe like 6 times when I used to go like every week. So yeah. Tanya says, I hope it isn't too windy for the Ren Fair tomorrow, Jason. It's supposed to be like hot and sunny tomorrow. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, we're supposed to be good weather too tomorrow, I think.
You might have to go and look for that Turkish oil wrestling.
We don't have that in mind.
I don't know
we don't have that in mind. But what we do have are the ladies of the Scarlet Pillow. If you
ladies of the Scarlet Pillow.
I'm pretty sure I've sent this photo to Ron. Ron's like, oh, yes, you did.
So the ladies got pillows.
Well, they got pillows, right?
It's supposed to be 24 degrees Celsius tomorrow, so it's supposed to be really warm.
That sounds like a temperature.
That's like
68.
No.
Yeah, what? 70?
24?
70.
In the 70s. Closer to 80.
Yeah, sorry.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
It's warm. It'll be warm tomorrow.
Yeah, like
it'll be. I won't have my t-shirt on because I don't want a farmer's tan weather.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have one of those farmer tans.
I don't like farmer's tans.
These are the ladies of the Scarlet Pillow.
Oh.
Just up your alley, Jason.
I'm just saying, they're very friendly.
I so want to say something now, and I'm going to not.
Black Cat Paranormal just getting ready to go. Bit looking forward to a break, kinda. Well, thanks for hanging out. Maisie, sounds like strippers. No, they're not strippers. They are ladies.
They're ladies of the night.
Get that straight. Of the day in the night. Of the night in the day.
What kind of bathroom?
Maisie says, Jason, how is your neighbor's pond doing? It's doing fine. What was that, Karen?
I said, what kind of bathrooms do they have there? Have they got like the proper ones, or have they got like the
they have really well made bathrooms at the Ren Fair. This one, the specific one I'm going to, has proper bathrooms. It's not like you're going to like a field of porta potties or anything. Tom Doolittle is in the house.
Hi, Tom.
Coming in after an hour and 53 minutes and 35 seconds. Mike O, I don't think I've said hey to Mike O yet, but Mike O has been here for a bit. Tanya, you're starting trouble. You're starting trouble.
Yeah. It can be hard on Jason sometimes when he sees these ladies.
It's okay though. I'm on the straight and narrow. Straight and sick? Well, I don't know.
trip all over again. This is like the whole.
Oh no, we've gotten to that point. How many of them Guinness-I have you had?
That's only had 2.
I've only had 2, and it's only 4%. So
That's enough. That's enough.
That's all right. She's just relaxed.
I have.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
was
get
pretty
her to
bad on the
10.
trip.
Well, there's only one left in the fridge. So.
Oh, okay. Well, they're actually good. I mean, that
But, yeah,
Might as well open it. Let's go.
You got
coffee break is actually. I mean, it's not as good as coffee break, but it's still like I'm
No.
drinking it.
Coffee
your,
break.
Fine.
You might want to drink that coffee break soon, though, because even though it's in the can, like that's gonna flat out real fast.
That's true.
the stuff from Counterpart.
Oh, we have a counterpart?
Yeah.
Counterpart. So, guys, we went to a brewery. We went to many breweries. We were rating and enjoying many a brewery. I think there was only, like, honestly, if I'm being honest, like Ghost River Brewing, which had a phenomenal branding and a solid crew there, and the beer is good. Me and Karen found a pretty nice couple of beers there. As much as that was good, like it was the weakest of the bunch. And if your weakest of the bunch is really good, we hit phenomenal breweries on this trip. But we hit this one place in Louisville, kind of off the beaten path. Had a beer. It's a coffee stout called Coffee Break. Flipping great. It's so good. I killed mine so quickly. But when we went to Ron and Cassie's in their area, they have Counterpart, a brewery that not only we didn't get to taste the food, but had beautiful looking food. Looked like I had a spicy chicken sandwich that I would love to try. But their beer was super, super solid. It's a schwanky place. It wasn't terribly expensive. You didn't feel like you were out of place wearing some jeans and t-shirts like we showed up in. But it was pretty nice. And I'm like, honestly, when I go back up there, that's the first place me and Ron are going to. Like, we're going to Counterpart to hang out.
Let's go.
Yeah. Is that when you disappeared? You disappeared for a little while, and then we realized that the guy showed you around the brewery?
Nope, that was Brimstone.
No, that was Brimstone.
No, which one?
So Counterpart was the one that
when we were going to Old Angel Inn.
Yeah, it was the one right before Old Angel Inn, and we had some poutine. Counterpart was the one you're thinking of where I disappeared was the second brewery we went to that was built on an old church.
Oh my God, I must be getting Alzheimer's. I can't remember the first one. I remember
we went to a lot of places.
I think that's what it is. I'm just like,
it was the day of our
I remember the one that looked like a
trip.
Yeah, when we went to Niagara Falls and then we went to Old Angel Inn. So we went and Grist. Remember the beer that we didn't like, but the description was really good?
Oh, the one
so we went to Counterpoint and then Grist?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we showed up at Old Angel Inn and we were like too late for the actual food, so we got the late night menu.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Yeah. Oh, how did you like the poutine, Karen? If you can remember.
I can't remember.
It's fries, gravy, and cheese curds.
Oh, yeah. No, that was nice. But Ron said the cheese curds weren't poppy or crunchy or something.
Yeah, and they weren't squeaky.
When you bite into
it, that's the thing with me and Karen is we're coming into a place where we're like, you have to try this, and we try it, and we're like, yeah, this is good. But Cassie and Ron have like had this for their whole lives, and so they know what's good and what's bad, and so they're like, this is the most average thing we could have given you guys. Like, our apologies, and we're just like, it's good. It's like it's gravy and fries and cheese. Like, no one's complaining here.
I just wish they changed the name. Just doesn't.
Poutine just doesn't sound good. It sounds dirty. If you're asking me, it sounds naughty.
Hi, Regan.
Who wants to put some poutine in their face?
Poutine. Get some poutine.
It was like whack.
She literally almost just hit me, guys.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I saw her, bro. Like, oh no, I'm seeing that. What's up? She likes that shirt, bro. She's like, let me just undo a button or two. Wait. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's get that other one going. She needs a refill, Ron. That's what that meant. Wreaking havoc in the house.
Yep.
Wreaking, how are you doing? Yeah, the poutine was good, but again, the professionals told us it's mid, it's average, it's like nothing to write home about.
The gravy was really good. I mean, it was really good. The fries were really good. It just the cheese wasn't squeaky.
Yeah, and
which is not it's not like a downfall, but it's not like the proper poutine.
Wreaking Havoc tunes in for Canadians Gone Wild. Whoop whoop. That means they're super polite.
Yeah, we're just extra polite.
Lost Moss says, when Jason, Cassie, and Ron hit Australia, get them some Sims in soy sauce.
Should I get them fried or steamed, Lots?
Listen, fried. We're American. Well, I'm American. Fried always. Canadians are probably like partial to kindness. I don't know.
I was thinking of that, Loz. I thought if they do get here, there's nothing. I'm so
Pavlova.
Well, yeah. Well, I can make a Pav. I can make a Leamington. I can do all that, but there's nothing.
Kangaroo.
No.
Do y'all eat kangaroo?
Yeah, they do.
I think you said at some point there are people that will serve it, but you're not for it.
I'm not into it. It's very gamey, and I guess people who have hunted and got venison or whatever, it's very gamey. I'm not really. I don't like that gamey.
I'm not big on deer meat, which is because it's very gamey,
and it's very gamey. Like some people who go shooting ducks. It's the same thing.
I'm like, I guess I'm too cityfied.
Yeah,
I eat chicken and beef and pork. Like, I don't eat anything. Like, I don't eat deer or venison or like if I was in Australia, like any
No, I wouldn't even ask.
Like, so when people say like, oh well, it tastes gamey, I'm just like, I don't know what that means because I don't.
You know how you have your chicken and you have your white meat, which is the breast, and then you've got the leg meat, and the leg meat's a little bit different in flavour to the breast.
Yeah.
Gamey meat, wild meat, it's a bit strong. It's a stronger tasting red meat. It's strong. It's. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I understand there's a preference, a differential kind of thing, but I've never really had any.
I just want to say something to Loz. Yes, I've been to the Victoria markets and I've gotten those dim sims. They're massive, about as big as you, like this.
What is a dim sim? Is like a meatball?
Yeah, you know when you go to a Chinese restaurant, what do they call them? They call them. I think Americans say dim sum. Dim sum. It's like it's meat, a ball of meat wrapped in pastry, and you can deep fry it.
Yeah. Okay. But for us, they're small.
Yeah. They normally are. But
they're bite-sized.
In America, in Australia, we make them all different sizes. But you go to the fish and chip shop and you say, I want some fish and chips.
Apparently, in Australia, they make them as big as your fist.
They do. They're the Melbourne ones, and I've had them. They're delicious. But I've asked for ones. I like my dim sim steamed.
There's a thing now. I don't know how much you guys do sushi.
I like
sushi. I dig sushi.
I'm not keen on it.
There's a thing now. It's not like super like popular and like everywhere, but there's places that do like burrito sized sushi rolls. So they're like this big, like sushi rolls this big, and then you can chop them and stuff. Yeah. But they're like literally this. It's so much. It's overwhelming how big
that sounds
they are.
Overwhelming.
It's.
So
I went to a place that was like, you could. I don't know if you guys know a Godzilla roll, which is generally like tuna and maybe like some cucumber and it's usually deep fried, so it's like a deep fried kind of like sushi roll. Well, they'll do like one of those, but like burrito sized. Oh man, it's too much. It's so much that you never want to eat that roll for like the next year because you're just like, no, it's so much. I can't do it. Wolf Haunts Paranormal is in the house.
Hi, Helena.
And she
Hi,
spells
Helena.
smart. Maisie Rose says, Jason, it's strong. Gamey meat. It's strong, and if you have it at the wrong time of year, it will give you the runs. Holy smokes. No, thank you.
I don't know. I had a friend from a guy from work gave me some deer chops and some deer steak, like venison steak. I cooked it up. I didn't have a smoker at the time, but I had my Weber grill, charcoal grill.
Yeah.
Cooked it on that. Oh my goodness.
But you like that kind of stuff. I don't. I don't like rabbit.
It was amazing.
I don't like anything goat. I hate goat. It's very because it has like this.
Goat has a strong flavor.
There's a lot of extra strongs.
Yeah.
I don't
have enough. I don't have enough knowledge or experience in meats that are not like literally pork, chicken, or beef to know what the difference is.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough experience eating meat.
Yeah, like rabbit's very fatty.
Give me time. Give me time. Bacon.
but
I
know my meat, Jason. Come on.
I know you do, bro. Like, listen, guys, we make it like a joke. We make it like a joke. Ron's chicken wings, I dream of. Like, I dream of them. I call them the 3 a.m. chicken wings because we literally ate them at 3 a.m. in the morning.
That was the best. It was
because the best. Ron was like, because he has a smoker. I don't have any experience with smokers. I'm like, okay, it's like a barbecuer, but like takes way longer. What's the point? Good Lord, I need one in my life because it's so much better. Because we were there, was it night one that you did the chicken wings? You just dumped them on, and we probably ate them at midnight or something. It wasn't like crazy, and they were so good. Those were the hot sauce and maple ones, and I have tried making them in my air fryer with the maple syrup and the hot sauce. It does not work. It don't work, bro. And they were amazing. So like the next night we needed the brisket done for the next day, but we wanted some chicken wings, and we started the chicken wings at like 1 a.m. because we knew the brisket needed to go on at 3. And so like we put the chicken wings on, and when the chicken wings were done, we put the brisket on. But the chicken wings were like pretty much done at 3 a.m. And so we've been, I think the kids are gone for the night. We had been drinking for hours, and then like suddenly chicken wings appear because we knew we had to like, okay, we want to make chicken wings, but we also need to make the brisket, and to time it out right, the brisket needs to go on at 3 a.m. Cool, 3 a.m. Sure, let's make some chicken wings while we wait. They were so good. They were so flipping good. Out of all the food I had on this trip, and we ate at some nice places. Ron's chicken wings and the brisket. Like, listen, I'm not discounting the brisket. The brisket I ate way too much of the brisket. I just kept eating it. And I knew I was going to be sick, but I'm just like, I don't care. Why not? Girl, you better put on a skirt.
It has shorts, guys.
You don't have the hot pants. You have the hot skirt on. And then you're all like touching the bacon.
Shorts built in.
Perfect. No, not slapping the bacon. You're touching the bacon.
Slapping the meat.
Yes, they were so good. Like Ron, honestly, Ron sold me on what a smoker does to like not just chicken wings, but like meat in general. Like it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. But
that's what it sounds like.
Now I want one. Or going to Ron's house, I was like, okay, that a smoker sounds like something someone who likes to barbecue has that just likes to take its time. No, good Lord, smoked chicken wings. I'm spoiled for life.
Yeah,
spoiled for life.
No, it was.
They aren't. You took frozen chicken wings, dumped them on there. In an hour, you flipped them. The next hour, you sauced them and served them up. I can wait that long if that's the result. Oh my gosh!
I know. It's just so funny having the chicken wings today was the first chicken wings I ate since. And I'm just like,
I've had it 3 times. I've made air fried chicken wings, and I have the same sauce and maple syrup from Canada. Did my thing, put it on there. I'm just like, there's something missing. You know what's missing? That smoked flavor, that smoker flavor in the wings. Like, that's what's missing. That flavor sets off the maple that overpowers the hot, and it works perfectly. And I'm angry every time I make them because I'm like, this isn't right. I need Ron.
The sauce is just basically butter.
It's nothing.
Frank red hot sauce and maple syrup. That's it.
And it's just that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
It's so simple. But what my wings are missing is that smoky flavor that the smoker adds to it that you just don't even think about as someone who's never used one.
Ew, liquid smoke. Gross.
Not liquid smoke, just like the smokiness. Ron, I mean, liquid smoke is like a thing, but Ron's that's not what Ron used. Ron had the pellets.
But I wonder if
then he almost caught his house on fire or his garage on fire because it just.
Oh, that's right. You bloody dickhead.
It went up after the fucking. Sorry. It went up after the.
That's right.
The brisket.
They're looking at the fire, right? What feeds fire, guys? Air. And what did Ron have still turned on?
You say guys, I just sat there and I was just like, listen to the women. Like, don't sit there and say like I was the problem.
I forgot about that actually.
But was finally turned the air off and the fire went out.
What were we cooking?
Tanya,
it was after the
brisket. It was the brisket. It was after the brisket. Tanya says Ron has a special touch. Are you saying he's got the touch? He's got the power. Yeah.
The taste different to me than I remember
because it's sitting in a can for so long. Like Jason says,
the counterpart
can't let it sit too long.
Jesus,
now we have to drink
you gotta drink it.
Now I have to drink a coffee break before it's too late.
Coffee break?
Coffee break will sit a little longer. I would say at this point, maybe in the next few days. Because here's the thing, like beer will last longer in cans because it's airtight and it's not being affected by the light. Light will affect beer. Darker the beer, the more it will affect. But because you are drinking it from a crowler, which means it was canned from like literally the spout, there's no carbonation added, which would be if it was in a facility. Which means it's not going to last as long. It's going to be flatter and flatter as you drink it, even though it's airtight. It's just going to lose naturally.
I've got an idea. Couldn't you put, those things you buy, the soda machines, then you put the bottle up in it?
It's not the same type of thing.
It doesn't work the same. We tried that one time with what did we try that with?
Yeah, it's not quite the same process. The beer doesn't get carbonated by like a carbonation gas. It gets carbonated by its natural process of breaking down.
By the fermentation of the beer.
Maisie said, Laws says, Jason said a bad word. I did. That happens when we drink. Maisie says, Ron, who taught you to cook, or are you self-taught?
I did in high school. I had a hospitality course, which is basically a cooking course. And I did that 2 times. Like I took it twice, and that was an inspiration for me for cooking. But as for like barbecuing and cooking and that, I've
YouTube
tried to just do it myself.
He'd be watching YouTube. When he went to do the brisket, he's like, I'm not sure how long I do this. So he was just like YouTubing it while we sat there. He's like, all right, this guy said this is how we do it.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of YouTube. I'm like, we're sitting here live on YouTube. I've learned a ton of stuff off YouTube. I will not go so far as to say like, oh man, you can learn anything on YouTube, and it's true. As we've talked, Karen is currently in a series kind of setting the record straight on the Sally House or the Finney House, if you will, on YouTube. So YouTube is a great way to start a process of learning. I will say that. start the process of learning. YouTube is a great way to do that. And that is what Ron has done with the smoker, because he got a smoker. He's like, how do I do this thing, man? How do I utilize this in the best way possible? He's YouTubing videos of people using their smokers, giving their best advice. Is that the end all be all? Does he never have to learn another thing because he watched a couple of YouTube videos? No. But it's a great starting point. And I love the fact that we live in that world, the future that allows that kind of learning possible. Because I think, whether you're talking about working a smoker and barbecuing meat, or paranormal investigation, or tying a tie, or fixing your car, or utilizing critical thinking in terms of analyzing popular culture, or whatever. We live in a world where information is infinitely available to us. We don't have a lot of excuses to be ignorant anymore. We have a lot of excuses as to why, we're starting our process, but we don't have an excuse to be ignorant anymore with the internet. So let's not be ignorant. Wreaking Havoc says, any of you ever tried coffee rub on meat?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
I have.
Delicious.
Well, I grew some jalapeno peppers. I made my own hot sauce from those. I did add some coffee grounds to those to try and make a coffee jalapeno hot sauce. It didn't turn out as great as I would have loved. But now that you say that, I'm just imagining Ron's hot wings with just a little coffee, just a tiny little coffee to them. And maybe I need to go visit Canada again here in the next few weeks.
Yeah. Mike O, his comment.
What? A collab?
Yeah. I'll say, Mike, me and Cassie did do that. Hinsdale House with Levy.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We
there you go.
We smoked some
charcoal.
Charcoal, same thing. Charcoal rubber grill.
What'd you cook?
Levy brought this chicken that he marinated.
Oh yeah.
For 24 hours.
Ghost chicken.
And when they brought chicken, it was I said, "Holy cow, guys! You brought enough to feed an army. It wasn't like 2 pieces of chicken. No, it had to have been 12 pieces.
Steak and hamburgers.
And had steak and hamburgers and holy cow, it was crazy. It was that was actually pretty fun. We should have video. Oh boy!
I'm sure Ron thinks about Jason's preparing.
I would love Ron's meat rubbed in coffee in a hot tub. With Cassie just standing there staring at us, shaking her head. Do with that information what you will.
That sounds very kinky.
Demonetized.
I just coughed as I was
jeez.
Oh my goodness.
I love Ron. Me and Ron had a moment. We had a few moments on this trip, guys, where we're because me and Ron, it's a weird thing. When we met in Virginia City, I met Karen. Karen was great to the point where she's like, "Hey, do you want to hang out and have dinner? I'm going to meet up with Cassie and Ron." And I was just like, I remember Cassie from the previous PEX, which was kind of a weird iteration of what it became. But I was like, I remember her. She was super nice. But then there's this Ron guy. I honestly have a hesitation and what's a good word for it? Anxiety. I have anxiety meeting new people. And so Karen was awesome enough to where I'm like, okay, I can at least anchor myself onto Karen. So if Cassie and Ron turn out to be duds, I don't I can anchor myself off Karen, and I can use her energy and rebuild my own. It's weird how I'm talking about this, but this is kind of how I think. But when we hung out, as little as it was, Cassie, I remembered, I'm like, oh no, she is cool. I remember her, and she turns out my memory is very correct. She's cool. And then Ron, even though he was kind of the outsider to what this PEX experience was, absolutely flipping cool. because I think one of the very first things was because we went to a restaurant and they're like, hey, if you want alcohol or whatever, you got to go to the convenience store attached to this building and go get a beer. So like me and Ron were like, oh, well, I want a beer. I'm like, oh, cool. And it was a convenience store. So the selection was not great. So me and him had this moment where we were talking about beer. What do you like? Well, I like this and I like that. And we picked the beer and I was like, oh, this guy's cool, whatever. And so in that moment, we made a connection.
And you shared birthdays.
Is rare.
And we share
birthdays. But it's very rare for me personally to connect with people because I have this very weird anxiety. And I know like some people who watch this, they're like, but you're so personable. No, I am not. I am not personable. I have a hard time with people. But Ron is an exception. And so me and Ron made a connection to the point where like when this trip was being planned and we knew we were doing this, I was excited for all these people because I'm like, okay, these people understand me. We're all good with each other. We can do this thing. It's great. And we were able to have some moments, me and Ron, where we just kind of like solidified that thing. Our love of like vinyl albums being played in a small room. Our love of like chicken wings.
Beer.
Beer. Me and Ron hanging out solo in well, like I think me and you wandering around Waverly Hills kind of satisfy. Well, me and Ron managed to go to a spot in Waverly Hills I had never been to. The roof. Like we stumbled upon the roof of Waverly Hills. It was awesome. But like wandering around Cave Hill Cemetery and like noticing Ron kind of like understanding why I love cemeteries. Like, and that's one of the things like Ron coming into this thing like, I don't know about this paranormal stuff. Like, I'm here to support my wife. I hope I have some fun. But noticing like having him shift his thing of like, well, now I am having fun. So Cassie can have fun and I can have fun, whether it be for the same reasons, believer, skeptic, whatever, like whatever level that is, he's having fun and that's something they can enjoy together. And so me and Ron having that same experience in a cemetery where Ron's like, I see why you would like to hang out here. It's peaceful. It may not be for the same reasons, but we're having that same experience.
Oh, we had some violin music. Candles.
And so it's like, it's weird. And I know it's kind of weird for y'all in these live streams and stuff, but like I've made a unique connection with Karen that I did not expect. And I've made a unique experience with Cassie, which I did not expect. And I made a unique experience with Ron, which I did not expect. And when we can all have that together, especially on this trip, like it works so well for what I needed. I hope for what they needed. It's weird. I don't even understand how to explain it. It's just like,
yeah,
the universe is there and we needed specific things from it. And we got it from all these specific people.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah. I've never in a million years.
Yeah, I know. And we're good friends now. And that's why I want to come back to live in America. I could live somewhere between Jason and Captain Ron.
Yeah, that way, because like 17 hours. So you get like 6 hours away. 7 hours away.
You can move into the Sally house.
Yeah.
I would buy it. I think it's up for sale again.
The Finney house.
But you see, if I bought the Sally house, I'd live in the Sally house and I'd make the garden all pretty and everything, and no one could investigate it anymore.
Maisie says, I think it's fantastic you have all found each other. I think it is awesome that we have all found each other. And beyond these live streams, like we've connected even deeper and we've been like, we lean on each other for a lot, especially me. Black Cat says, my youngest boy has Asperger's and severe anxiety. Dude, the coyotes are going crazy outside my window. and social issues, people tend to not to have tolerance of it or understanding. My thing is not as bad as that in terms of like really needing to kind of like not tolerance. Tolerance is not a thing, but like understanding. I think it's an understanding thing. My anxiety issues, I think, are way less than what someone with Asperger's would have. But like, yeah, I totally understand of like, there's a level that people have. You're good here, but then for me, I have a social battery and it drains very fast, depending on who I'm with. It was easy to keep that social battery charged with these people rather than like other people.
And even I can tell you now, I even tired him out. I tired Jason out completely to the point where we're driving along and I'm going, okay, do you want me to shut up now? Because he couldn't speak.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks was too much. Honestly, like 2 weeks was too much for me. I pushed myself to the limit of what I could handle in terms of like go, because it's not just being around people, but it's like everything we were doing, investigation and exploring of new things. Like there was a lot of excitement and energy and stuff. And I had zero time to recharge that. And it was getting really hard for me. But thankfully I was with people who understood that. So they were giving me some time and they were understanding of that, not taking it too personally when I was just like, I just need to shut down for a minute. And so I understand that where you're coming from of like the understanding of people's needs. I think that's what it comes down to. Whether or not we understand them, if they understand them and they're like, hey, this is what I need, we need to be understanding of that thing.
And
Mike
O has Asperger's, so you can tell
and
when the energy is made.
And that was one of the things that was great about being with Karen is like she recognized, she's like, okay, well, this is my time to just like
shut up.
I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap right now, let you recharge, and when I wake up, you'll be good, kind of thing.
We also had lack of sleep too. Like there was like we were running on lack of sleep. And driving, and there was a lot
stress. You know, especially if you're the one driving through Cincinnati people.
Yeah.
Learn how to drive.
Mike O did ask a question a ways back. Are we all going to be talent at the upcoming PEX? Well, firstly, I would never be asked. But secondly, no, Cassie and Jason are not going because it's only really, it's been sort of announced and it's in October. So, and I think Jamie Lee was looking for it. So it's all a bit too, if it had been a year from now, maybe they would have, I certainly would have gone along to be there, but Cassie and Jason might have been able to go, but it's too close. It's October.
I think I would have been the most accessible person to go out of the three of us. And I cannot. My life situation has just made it so I cannot go. And it's understandable that Karen and Cassie could not go because they were out of the country on the other side of the country for Cassie and Ron. And so, like I said this before in the episode, this current live stream, we had to when planning this trip we all went on, we had to like, okay, we want to do this. We want to do this thing. And here's how we could do this. But if we do this, we're probably most likely 95% sure we cannot go to PEX. So which one would we rather do? We could do this trip, or we can hold out hoping that PEX happens again. Which one? And I think we all of us, the four of us, decided the trip for us was worth making the sacrifice of not going to PEX.
Yeah.
So if you are available to go to PEX, whatever PEX plans and deals with, which looks like to be another Virginia City kind of outing, awesome, flipping awesome, go do it. But we will not be there.
I mean, I'm out of vacation time. Like if I did have some days, but I need to use them up, so I could have potentially it just didn't work out this year for sure. So
it's a lot. It's a lot because I have no time. I was not going, period. Karen, it's a ton of money to come over to the States. Cassie and Ron, again, out of the country, little less expense because they don't have to cross an ocean. But they have a bunch of kids and responsibilities that they have to cover before they can come. And then Doof has an ocean and responsibilities that she has to cover before she can come. And so it's a ton to make that sacrifice. And so our question was, do we want to make the sacrifice for this trip or this trip? We decided on our trip, knowing that by doing that, we would probably sacrifice our PEX experience. But we believe the people behind PEX will produce a good experience, even if we're there or not. So it should not matter whether or not we're there. If any of our audience is like, well, I want to go to PEX, well, like, don't let our disinvolvement be a factor, because we're not going because we didn't believe in the creators. We're going because we sacrificed our time for another thing.
Yeah, we just simply can't. Yeah. And if Jason and Cassie had have gone, I can tell you now, I would have robbed a bank, so I was there. Because there'd be no way those
Doof cannot go to jail. It is the Doof cannot go to jail trip that we went on.
Yeah, but all I know about the PEX is that they're having the actual whatever.
They're starting the planning process. They've gathered some locations. Yeah. They are starting that process. Yeah. Maybe a little late in the year for that, for a lot of people to plan for it, but they are seemingly planning something that you can go to. So if a Virginia City trip is something you can start planning towards right now, then start tucking away some cash, because we don't know exactly what's going on, but like, start tucking away some cash. And if they have announced something in Virginia City and you're just like, man, it's not really exciting enough for me, well, then you're good. And you have some extra money to like save for. But like, if they announce something, you're like, oh yeah, I am down for that, then you're ready for it. It looks like that it would be a Virginia City PEX once again, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think I did ask. I think because it's being held at the Sutro Tunnel, so that's where all the events will be, at the Sutro. But I think they were going to get buses or whatever, and hoping that people stay in Virginia City. So Virginia City people are there, and then of an evening you'd get taken to Sutro. I think that's the plan. That's my understanding of the plan. So yeah, but I'm sure Jamie Lee will release all of the information as soon as she's worked it out. But yeah, I love Virginia City.
Yeah. I just want to say hi to Blair Rick Project. They are not local to us, but they're from Ontario, but more west, Windsor area.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, we had to actually plan a collab. We just haven't got there yet.
Yeah. So far as Cassie, Jason, Ron, and myself, I think at some point more closer towards the end of the year, we might all have a chat again and see what could be worked out for another road trip. We'll see what happens. Maybe I could fly to Tulsa. Jason can take me to the Sally house, and then we can drive up to you and stay there and let Ron cook us all of the smoked meats. And we can go and investigate, because that'd make it easier on you with the family, and go and investigate stuff around Canada. I've seen Niagara Falls now, so I don't have to see Niagara Falls again.
So I was just Googling where Sally House is. It's 15 hours away from us.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a big drive. Oh, that's a couple of days drive.
I mean, it's not.
I could do it in a day.
Yeah, it's not really.
I could.
I said, well, he could if Jason was the draw card, you see. If Jason was there for him to get to. And if we do that, I would just book it for a few nights so we could stay at the Sally house a few nights. That's what I would do. Then I can go to the cemetery. We can go and visit Amelia Earhart's house. We can ask the people next door to the Sally house, are they up for a bit of cash for the night, and let us see if Charlie's there. We could do lots of things. And Jason and Ron can go to the breweries. Sounds like fun to me.
There's no breweries in Atchison, Kansas.
Oh.
We'd have to do some traveling.
Well, that's all right. But anyway, but there's food for thought. But I would really love. How far was it from you, Jason? The Sally house? You did tell me, and I've forgotten.
4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
So I would. That is where I really want to go. That's next, and then the cemetery connected to that. And I would like to see Amelia Earhart's museum and a few things. But then, then we could travel up a bit more, and then just meet Cassie and Ron and do the same thing. But Memphis had a lot to see, didn't it, Jason? I've still got the little pamphlet. Memphis could be a good place to stay for a few days and go and visit lots of different places. We could have fun, and then Ron could go to Graceland.
And Cassie,
I would go to Graceland again with Ron.
Yeah. And Cassie can come. Oh, well, we can all go.
Cassie's allowed to come along. Why not?
Yeah,
Cassie could come.
No, I'm just like sitting on the side of the road, just waiting. Okay, what do they got?
Do you know what I know? Now that I know Jason and Ron have never had a facial, then I could make sure I find a place. I could make sure.
Don't get us demonetized.
And we could all get a facial. We could just spend a couple of hours getting a facial. There you go. And then we'll all look beautiful. But that's something we could.
I just poured beer all over me.
No.
Can you grab a paper towel, please?
Yeah, you did.
Where?
I'm replicating the coffee break night.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Yeah, Graceland was nice. Jason,
I think we need to wrap this live stream up. We've been going for 2.5 hours.
If Cassie's spilling beer down
the second we spill beer on ourselves, this time to wrap it up. But it's been awesome, guys. Your support of Weeping Willow Paranormal, Doof Paranormal, and Jason of Cemetery Road, super awesome, because I know there's a lot to watch on YouTube, and I know there's a lot more exciting things to watch on YouTube. But the fact that you guys are here means a ton. The support of our channel means a ton. I know I can speak from my experience. Anybody who's a member of my channel and supports my channel in terms of like sacrificing some sort of thing, like if it's not a coffee a day, if you will, to monetarily support my channel, means a ton to me, guys, and never think it doesn't. And the fact that you guys support my friends, Cassie and Ron and Karen, means a ton. The community that we are building is one that has helped me a ton over the past year. And I just hope you all understand, no matter what your presence is in it, that you understand your importance. So thanks for hanging out with us. I love you. And I'm glad you are supporting my friend Cassie in coming to her live stream. So I'm just going to let her close this thing out.
Yeah,
like Jason said, basically he says everything wonderfully. I always suck at words.
So really good.
Words and stuff, and you all cool, thank.
Exactly. No, seriously, guys, I really appreciate all your support. I'm so close. Like, we already hit the 1,000 mark, and then we still have a bit to go for watch hours, but you guys have been so supportive. That's why we're
here live streaming for almost 3 hours.
Yeah. No, but like I just really appreciate all your support, because you guys have been like following it. Like, it's been 2 years now that we've been together, and you guys most of you have been here this whole time, which has been awesome. I really appreciate that. So, but yeah, so we will definitely look at Instagram in the YouTube community post for updates on when we'll start posting our episodes from the Kentucky trip, which
I want to say is within the next week or two.
Yes, within a week or two, you'll.
Yeah,
I think it's safe to say, because what's today? Saturday. Mm-hmm. So within a week or two, I think.
So if we get on the ball and we're like, maybe this upcoming week, if not, maybe the week after. Yeah, but definitely that's when it's going to start. Yeah, soon, definitely. So you have to check out all our channels. So that's Weeping Willow, Cemetery Road, and Doof. We'll get Doof. You get a lot of the history, and Jason and I will be the paranormal aspect. Like, we'll be the dumbasses that wander around in the dark, being like, "Is that a ghost?"
Yeah. So no, it's gonna be fun. I cannot wait for you guys to see what we experienced. But yeah, so that's it, guys. Thanks for joining. I really appreciate the support. Gosh, I can't words.
Yeah, she's had too
We're
much
done.
beer.
Okay, love you guys. Okay,
Love
bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Bye. We love you.
Love you. Bye.
See you on